4-0 at this point?
How about that?
Yeah. 4-0.
4-0. Let's go 5-0 today. We got 4 hours for you on preseason football, a team fighting for the NL East, we think. Connor Thomas going to pour cold water on that later on in the program. Tyrese Maxey talking about the last shot. We got our first ever last week report, a couple of Tims, but let's start where I mentioned that preseason football because Sean Brace, it was asked of me this morning, and I thought this debate was dead. And we'll get all the pleasantries. Hello, what happened to you last night? Because I feel for you today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I've been sitting back there. You know, you went on morning show, and I was like, 21-gun salute back there for you. I was heartbroken for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I was asked it today. You mentioned it yesterday. I thought a week ago we said the debate was dead, that we would never have this debate again, at least in the Nick Sirianni era. But you've been pushing for it all week, and I want to give you the floor, Sean Brace, to advocate for something you're very passionate about, for something that you would love to see happen, for something that you want for your Saturday night. And no, I'm not talking about what you didn't get last night. Sean Brace, what are you looking for at Eagles-Patriots?
Well, besides the obvious that was somewhat diluted with what took place yesterday at the end of practice with the DAP heard around the world by A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I think it's very important. I do. I am falling into the category more than ever that the offensive starters should play on Saturday night. And Ray and Connor, I want to have a little fun with you, almost like a family feud. Just envision that we have the top 5 answers on the board. Oh! I love it. Let's go ahead and start with this. You tell me where it falls in line as far as with your card, okay?
Yeah, sure.
How about let's start with the fact that this offense doesn't have the luxury of saying, nah, we're good. We got this. What is it, the 13th? Is that the official date of the Week 1 game against
September
the Commanders?
13th.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Ray Lewis. Or no, that was Bart Scott. Excuse me. To Sao Paulo. So this offense right now, what we know about it from last year, the struggles, and the majority of those guys are still here right now. You're adding new pieces, but that's not a part of this conversation. No, the offense for me, who are you to sit there and say, no, we're good. We don't need to play the starters 1 to 2 series. That's all I'm asking for. Just get the cobwebs out, Ray. So that's on the board. Is that on the board, Connor? All right. Top 5 answers on the board.
Your top 5 answers.
Also on the board, show me Jalen Hurts could use live reps. Again, there's something to be said about the fact that you're not wearing the red jersey, that you could potentially take a hit, that, oh, it's not in controlled environment. My guy, who I'm the club president of, Jalen Hurts, Club Hurts, yes, he could use the reps. Everybody talks about how bad this guy is. 17th on Jeremy Fowler's list. Okay? Yeah. Jalen Hurts, show me, could use the live reps. All right, we're cooking, baby.
This is a survey of 1, by the way.
Audience of 1.
How about show me the offensive coordinator can use the reps? Sean Mannion, come on down. Yes. How about Sean Mannion is learning on the fly, boys and girls? This might as well be the number 1 answer on the board. I don't know, though. It's not a survey of 1. There are people out there that agree with me. Yes.
Fine, we gave it to you.
All right, Sean Mannion could use the reps. He is literally learning on the job, Ray. You're talking about a guy who is now potentially saying, I want to go up to the booth. I don't know if I want to be on the field. All right. He's never called plays before. We saw how ugly it was in the one opportunity in this preseason game against the Ravens, which was putrid. Yeah, Sean Mannion can use the reps. It's on the board. How about, this is easily the number 1 answer on the board. It's a brand new offense. Top to bottom. Show me brand new offense.
The last one was the number 1 answer.
That's all right. They're all number 1 in my mind, Connor. Yeah. Again, it's a brand new offense. It should make perfect sense to everybody. You got new pieces all over the place, right? Like, this is something that's easy to grasp, and I understand that they went up against each other in the split squad scrimmages. So what? Regardless, it's a brand new offense. And finally, I will just say this. As we look around the league, Ooh. Guess what? You have starters playing everywhere. Brock Purdy played last night. You know, the chosen one, Fernando Mendoza, he's out there playing. I get it, Kirk Cousins is starting quarterback, understood. Look around the league. Jared Goff is going to play. The Commanders are starting their team, are playing their starters. Like, this isn't something that I'm just pulling out of thin air where, no, every NFL coach says you can't do that. If I am Sean Mannion, I am asking the head coach, is this possible? Because I need to know what we have. I got to get the juices going. Ray, there's something to be said about the contact aspect, and I'll just wrap it up with that. You can't duplicate that. Like, you need to get the cobwebs knocked. You got to get your hand in the dirt. You got to compete, and you got the at least the knowledge of who you're going up against these past 4 days. I think that plays into the angle as well, where you know there's not going to be a cheap shot, right? You don't think. Like, we're on the same page. We're professionals. We're competing. Let's keep it a buck and go. Play the starters for 2 series. You saw C.J. Stroud do it last night. And what did he do? He drove right down the field and scored a touchdown. You know what that's going to do for the morale of the offense? You know what that does for the Houston Texan fan base? You got to believe, Ray. Oh, come on.
You got 4 out of 5. Chance to steal, Ray Dunne.
Oh, thank you. I was letting him. I thought he was going to try and take 25 answers off the board. Let's roll down this idea of playing the starter, Sean Bray, shall we?
Yes.
I don't know if you ever got the advice from your parents back in the day. Well, if your friends went and jumped off the bridge, would you follow them? Because, it's so great to see Josh Allen, so great to see Brock Purdy. They can all play. Guess what? If they're on national TV, I'd love to watch them for a drive. That's great for me. They score a touchdown. Awesome. Great morale. C.J. Stroud, all of a sudden, there's no questions about his contract anymore. He scored a touchdown against the Raiders defense in the preseason. I'm sure they feel, okay about the way things are going to go down there in Houston. What if the opposite happens? I'm old enough to remember Nick Foles last week of the season. Let's get him some action. Interception. We all felt so great about the Eagles team going into the postseason. You know when it mattered? Squat, because they ended up winning the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. And you say no one's going to take a cheap shot. When was the last time we saw Jalen Hurts in a preseason game? I'll take you back to 2022. I had Nick Sirianni yelling across the field at Robert Saleh because Williams went and crushed Jalen Hurts along the sideline. I remember at one point, Sean Brace, I was a lot like you. And I said, you know what? This offense needs some work. This offense needs to play. And I was on this very Middays program sitting in that exact chair that Connor Thomas is sitting in, and Andrew Salciunas was sitting here, and it was the Eagles and Giants in a Week 18 matchup where the 2023 offense just didn't look like it had itself going. So you know what you needed to do? You needed to get the starters out there for a series. And you know what ended up happening? A.J. Brown hurt his knee, and I didn't have A.J. Brown for that playoff game. Would it have changed the result against the Buccaneers? Probably not. That team was doomed. But we were saying the same things. Oh, no. This offense hasn't got it quite. We need to get pieces into place. We need things to be figured out. And what ended up happening? They went out there. A.J. Brown hurt his knee, and that was the last I saw him that season. This team, by the way, 5-0. Oh, by the way, in openers, 5-0 under Nick Sirianni. Am I to doubt? And this is where you're at in this debate, because you have me sitting here sticking up for Nick Sirianni saying, why would I doubt his ways? 5-0 in openers. Should I trust the guy to do what he's done all these years? 5-0 when they open up. You say 2 series. 2 series to gain exactly what?
10 to 15 snaps, right?
Because when I listened to Nick Sirianni speak last week, 8 days ago, Thursday leading into the first preseason game, the man was talking vanilla. Not ice, not ice cream. Vanilla game plan. This team's not showing you anything offensively that they are going to do this season in those 2 series. So the idea is trot the starters out there, put them in peril, and they accomplish what? What are they going to run that you're going to see in this season? What are they going to do on the field that actually mirrors the offense you're going to get? What are they learning about this offense in a matchup with the Patriots over 2 series? They're not running what they're going to run in the game. It's in his notes. He told us. Nick Sirianni said, that's in my notes. It's all my notes back in 2021. There was a preseason look that ended up being scouted, and we ended up having to change things up. This team should not play their starters in the preseason. I thought this debate was dead, Sean Brace. I appreciate your energy, your passion, and your idea that maybe they should go on out there. I'll see you guys September 13th. I'm cool with it. Keep me nice and controlled, nice and safe. Put them in bubble wrap. Guys can go down left and right, and this is the weekend where it'll happen because teams will end up playing their starters, and some idiot that's already had a fancy football draft will say, oh, there goes my 5th-round pick. He just blew out his knee playing wherever. I'm okay not being the team with that. I got plenty of questions. I don't want one of them to be health.
All right. And I know you have the upper hand on this. We discussed it, just briefly for a minute, I think yesterday and the day before, and because we knew this conversation was coming. But more so than ever, what we're seeing on the field, what we're hearing from reporters that are up there, and then you look around the league, I'm not getting down with the injury aspect. These guys can get hurt up there competing against the Patriots. These guys can get hurt lifting weights at the Jeff. These guys can get hurt anywhere. It's football. There's something to be said about learning this new system, the ins and outs. There's more to it than just X's and O's. And you can't learn on the fly. I can bring it back to Mannion more than anything. Like, this guy needs to get a taste. He's got to get a taste of that action. And you're not getting that against the New England Patriots in the last 48 hours. You will get it in that first quarter on Saturday night with the Patriots and Eagles.
Yeah, the coaching staff, please, you're getting it. Told how important the joint practice was. That's what Nick Sirianni told us all week. I'll tell you this. I could get in a car accident going 45 on a one-way. I could also get in a car accident going 95 on the highway. One of them, it's more likely to happen. I want to hear from people out there, though. 610-632-0975. Would you like to see the starters play? Because I'm already reading the YouTube chat. I see people saying, hey, I would like to see the starters out there. Today was on PHL 17, the morning show. That was a question I got. Our buddy Jason saying, I would like to see him. So I'm curious for you
Jason's
out there.
A smart guy, right?
We'll get Connor's takeaway on this. We'll also hear from Saquon Barkley on his takeaway over joint practice because it runs counter to what we've heard from the coaches and from players over the last couple of years about the use of joint practice. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunne. We're asking you today, would you like to see the starters for a series or two tomorrow night against the New England Patriots in preseason football? This is Brace and Dunne, 97.5, The Fanatic. to Brayson Dunne, 97.5 The Fanatic. Well,
Is he a fox?
wrong?
Is he a foxhole guy or not? He's your roommate.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we weren't following him either.
Okay. Now let's start causing problems here. For those that were not behind the scenes for the last 30 seconds,
Yes.
our buddy Adam Aronson, Philly voice, Sixers Adam, and my roommate following the Middays account.
Yes.
Now, but the Middays account wasn't following him. So.
We just fixed that, so now we are following. Hey, folks, get involved at 975 Middays, at 975 Middays. AA and I are both following each other, so how about that? I bring that up.
He's intrigued in this weekend's matchup for the other side.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he's a Patriots guy.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. No harm, no foul.
No.
Well, Cam
He's a journalist, man, you know?
Cam checks and he says, I'm obviously no producer. Well, we stopped there, Cam. No, I kid. It's a kind of odd way to start the show. Feels like it's a break into a segment. And look, we're having some fun here. And all in all, this is a discussion that has been had many, many times.
Yeah, and the survey was one person. It was Sean Brace.
But I do want to say this. I know that I am coming from a minority take.
I don't think you are.
Oh, I disagree.
I think the people that agree with you have been beaten down year after year where it's like, I'm not going to fight this anymore. They've just gone quiet. I think you have the silent majority where they're like, oh, wait. Someone's taking the lead on this argument. I'm going to come out and argue with them. I think they just need someone like you to lead the resistance here.
I am one of those guys that you look to. I am the Northern Light right here of this show.
That's what I've long said about you.
Thank you.
Isn't it Northern Star?
Oh, sorry.
He's the Northern Light.
Northern Lights are a lot cooler, though, right?
They are. They're
Yes.
sick.
Okay. So my guy, Jason Ashworth, former 97.5 The Fanatic, love my guy, Ashy. He says, if I had to, in quotes, make the case of playing the starters on Saturday night, again, I'm not sitting here telling you, give me a half, Ray. I'm not sitting here telling you, give me 4 quarters, Connor. I'm not going to have my 4s up with Jalen Hurts walking to the line of scrimmage with Devontae and Dallas Goedert and Lane Johnson. No, that's not what we're doing here. We're talking about 2 series. And guess what, boys? If they drive down the field and give me 7 to start, like we saw C.J. Stroud in that Houston Texans dynamic offense yesterday, then everybody's out. And we can ride off into September 13th with big smiles on our face. But for me right now, I'm not smiling because there's a lot of unknown. Anyways, Ashy says, reference Barkley's comments about practice, and it doesn't echo real game feel and scenarios.
We've got that. You keep going. Keep rolling through what Jason has.
It's on the board. Show me. Practice, corrections, game, evaluate. I love that.
All right. They've told you in the preseason game, we are not showing anything on tape. We want someone to go after.
All right, that's fair.
So I'm curious for you. If you were to have someone come in here and try to do sports talk radio, would you want them to do a 10-minute segment on whether or not they think the Eagles are good? Can you evaluate how good that person's going to be over 4 hours by that 10-minute segment? Maybe you could get a little bit of an idea, but ultimately you have to do the 4 hours.
Yeah.
So and you also have to do topic development, not just, hey, man, you think the Eagles are good.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. Wow. This is trying to evaluate whether or not someone could do a 4-hour show by doing 10 minutes on the most vanilla topic you could possibly get.
And finally, it comes back to Mannion. He makes this point, and that's where I'm at. Mannion needs to feel it in game scenarios with the ones. It's extremely important that he understands, got the vibe, and he has the vibe of this offense, knows their demeanor, knows who's where, make sure that everybody is crossing their T's and dotting their I's, and you can get that in a game scenario.
All right, Sean Mannion gets to a 3rd and 4 in this drive that he's got Jalen Hurts on the field.
Yep.
In his mind, he says, right here, this would be a great call for a designed run. You sign off on the designed run in preseason to get the first down, or do you sign off on Sean Mannion not actually calling the play that he would want to call in that scenario?
I think you're really on the it's either black or white.
You're telling me he learns how to do his job.
Is there not a middle ground for that conversation piece right there for that question?
There is, of course, a middle ground.
Okay.
Most of the things we talk about here, there's a middle ground. To me, I'm telling you why I wouldn't start him.
You can work on things. Specifically, how about a screen pass? We want to get the ball in the hands of Saquon Barkley, or the running backs.
Absolutely.
And that's another thing, too. I do want to point this out. Like, I am okay with Markel Bell getting a little action with the ones. You don't have to play lane. You don't have to play. You can mix.
Rookie right tackle with your franchise quarterback out there.
I knew you were going there.
Of course.
I can read you like a book.
You lobbed it to me.
Not everybody has to play, but the majority does. A guy like Lane, I'm willing to sign off and say, Lane, big dog, we know what your status is here. You can take off Saturday night. Everybody else, though, I need you in there.
Okay, got it. So Juergens out there, Landon Dickerson's out there.
Correct.
Okay. How many centers are we down in the league at this point?
Well,
this
we got a
season?
bowling ball full of knives in the backup position and Willie Lampkin.
Okay. So now, are you sure you want to put Juergens out there then? Because we could protect Juergens, we could get Lampkin out there. Everybody loves Lampkin now.
Speaking my language.
All right, so 2 backup offensive linemen. You realize what you just handed me, right?
No. Again, this isn't a disaster waiting to happen. This is an offense that needs experience, needs some seasoning, needs to come together. That's what it is. It's not about, this is the end of the world scenario that you are trying to pitch. You're trying to paint that, oh, my goodness, if they walk out there, it's going to be like Batman with Bane on the field, and it just collapses underneath them, and everybody falls to the core of the earth.
I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you, though, when I learned to drive a car, it was in a nice parking lot without cars around me. Then eventually I got onto the road.
All right. And I'll just finally wrap it up with this. This isn't a life or death situation. I get it both ways. I told you 2 days ago I thought you were right. I did. I said you make a good case. But when I hear guys like Tom Brady say, come on, man, you got to play the preseason games. Everything has shifted. Everything has changed. It's so what's up is down, down is up, left is right, right is left. You get these rookie quarterbacks. Now you want to throw them in there in week 1. Right? But you don't want to play in preseason, but it's important to get these rookie quarterbacks out there. If I'm correct, over these last 2 or 3 seasons, get them action. Get them game action immediately. Where back in the day, it was like, you know what? Take your time at that position. We got to get you a little bit of a year underneath your belt. But this modern day, you got to get them in immediately. Okay? Now, preseason football doesn't matter. Hell, they're trying to take it away. A couple years from now, it might be down to 2, and then who knows where we're at from there.
Works for me.
Everything changes. I just think that they are in a position that they can gain experience, gain points by playing in Saturday night's game, and that's it.
All right. So then our takeaway, if they play, because we'll use Mendoza as the example. Last night, I understand you're buying all the stock in the world of Mendoza right now because people are selling. He threw a pick 6 last night. I just want to know. So, okay.
A rookie quarterback threw a pick 6 in an exhibition game? Oh, okay.
All right.
So that you're going to sell because of that?
I'm not telling you I'm selling.
The number 1 overall pick.
I'm selling for a lot of reasons with him.
Everybody's out because
the guy's got an AI personality. I don't know what to tell you. All right. The Chat GPT downloaded whatever his personality is and uploaded it to him.
Did you see what he said about the strip?
No, I didn't. Oh, yeah, I saw what he said about the strip. I want at least a little bit of a question about whether or not my quarterback enjoys everything. All right, I get it. We got an interesting guy as well here, so maybe I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
I got it.
He said that the Las Vegas strip was like a boogeyman. You don't want to deal with it.
To be clear, if the Eagles were to play one drive, Hurts throws a pick 6.
Oh Lord.
Because you're suggesting they're going to go down and score a touchdown. So that makes you feel better.
I don't think they're throwing a pick 6. Nope.
What have we heard about this offense so far in training camp? That's been up and down. You could get a great day. You could get a bad day. Mm-hmm. You're just assuming it's going to be a great day.
On the flip side of what you're going to see, I don't think you're going to see anything dynamic from Vrabel and that defense. I think that's going to be very vanilla. I trust my quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Again, you know what you're going to get. That first series, you're going to hand it off, get the cobwebs out, hopefully pick it up, right? Pick up the first down, move the chains, and then you can open up a little bit, right? Throw the football, mix it up. Who knows? Maybe you want to stay with the run. Maybe the offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage. Stick to your guns. I don't know.
So the defense is going to be vanilla.
Yes.
Your offense is going to be vanilla.
Why does the offense have to be vanilla?
Because that's what Nick Sirianni said. He said, hey, man, that's in my notes. We're not putting anything on tape for him. That's my head coach. That's the guy that's going to be in charge of the guys out there on the field.
It's not Tecmo Bowl, Ray. They're going to run more than 4 plays. 2 runs, 2 passes. No, there's more than that. Do you even know what Tecmo Bowl is?
Can we get the head
Bo
coach
Jackson,
from
unstoppable?
But before we get the coach from last week, because I want to hear Connor on this, because we're gonna end up coming to blows here and fighting each other over this, and it's we need another perspective on this because we've done 25 minutes of the two of us just going back and forth on this. So before we get the coach, before we hear from Saquon Barkley about it, I want to hear another voice on this. Even though Connor yesterday absolutely screwed me on good question hunting, I'm
we're still doing this?
Yeah, I'm still annoyed. Your judgment's off to me after yesterday. But please, what do you think about play of the starters?
This is insane to even consider. I don't understand a world where we get to the point where the starters are walking on the field. There's no benefit to that. Now, I don't think the argument should be, hey, they could have a bad series and that could make them look bad. I don't want to hide the starters. Like, if this offense isn't good enough, I'd like to know. But is that knowledge for me, as some idiot on the radio or somebody in the fan base, saying, okay, this team is winning the Super Bowl or losing 10 games? No, that's not worth potentially getting guys hurt. We've seen guys go down all around the league. Mm-hmm. Like, half the teams in the NFL don't have a center right now, if you look at the ESPN notifications from yesterday. We're going to put these guys out there for who, for what?
Well, Ricky, I don't care about the doom and gloomers that Ray is trying to paint. Like, oh, what if this offense struggles? You're going to give all the media members more takes.
Take the doom and gloom out of it. Okay. Take the injury sense out of it. Take the idea that someone's going to be upset about this offense on Monday out of it.
Okay.
If they play 2 series, what do we get from it?
Oh, I already answered that question. I gave you 5 reasons, and I think you check all those boxes. And the most important thing is that Sean Mannion, brand new offense. Matter of fact, when I went around to check the pulse of everybody here at 97.5 The Fanatic, I said, give me one reason. I don't care if you don't think they should play, but give me one reason why you would play the starters and you can't use brand new offensive system. And there was a lot of good conversation with that. But the number one answer on the board is easily, this is Sean Mannion, new offense, new pieces, and everybody is learning on the fly, including my brand new offensive coordinator, Doogie Howser, who is now deciding whether or not he wants to go up to the booth or doesn't know he wants to be on the field. Are you not concerned a little bit about that? Like, when it comes to September 13th, that's not going to be a question in your mind.
Of course, the play calling is going to be a question by mine.
All right, then. This is some way that you can work those cobwebs to a point.
He's either going to be on the sideline or in the booth.
No, I don't
He's
care
going to
about
make that decision.
I'm joking.
It's really just about the play. I think that's a legitimate concern for me. Communication in game between he and his players. I think that's a legitimate concern to have.
But that comes back to the totality of my point, where it's learning on the fly. He's calling plays where it's all encompassed into one.
And he is getting really, really exotic with his preseason calls, right, Nick Sirianni?
All right, let's settle it because we've done 27 minutes on this.
I want to hear from the coach.
Okay, but I'm going to put up a poll at 97.5 Middays.
Okay.
Just want to hear from people. Would you like, is it okay if I word it this way?
Yeah.
Would you like to see the offensive starters with Sean Mannion get 2 series on Saturday night?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll make the poll prediction.
Okay.
It's 80-20 now.
Oh, come on.
Ooh, I don't think so.
Nothing's 80-20 in Philadelphia
come
sports.
on.
For sure there's 80-20 quote. Nothing's 100%.
Do you like Alec Bohm? Actually, now, that'd be a tight one.
Tell me the question that gets 80%. Think on it.
Oh, there are plenty.
Are the Phillies winning the World Series? That's an 80-20 no right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll take that action. 6-pack of beer.
No, I already owe you a 6-pack. I'm not doing more 6-pack bets with you. I got to afford my own beer.
I got a nice cold sixer
back there. Is the liquor
there.
Store closed? You're betting everybody for beer around here. You good?
I want to say our buddy Ross, who sent in a voice memo earlier this week on the YouTube chat, he's a 3-for-4 guy. He's a Giants fan. He said, coming from a Giants fan, play all the Eagles starters for all the drives.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, there he is. Anyway, so, all right, put up the poll. 975 Middays. People go ahead and vote on it. Instead of hearing from the head coach, because we talked about vanilla offenses, let's hear from Saquon Barkley, because I'd like to help you. This is an act of charity on a Friday here.
Well,
it's a feel-good Friday for you. Here's Saquon Barkley talking about how much he appreciates joint practices.
Then you get the push in, the shove in, and someone says it's about you, and I'm like, oh, no, but I'm not that. You're this. It's like, it's immature when we get to that level. I got to do a better job, too, because I'm a little troublemaker sometimes, but I was good this week.
Was there a little more of that today, though? Maybe a little after the whistle and stuff?
Yeah, that's bound to happen. After day 2, you go back, you watch film. I don't believe in, like, someone won today versus they lost today, but you watch film, and it's going to be a little more, I don't want to say competitive, because it's not even that. It's just, obviously, football is just a physical game within itself, and a little extra pushing and shoving. But we got to do a better job of also not allowing that to have a factor in our practice, because I think Coach said it best at the end of practice. That stuff only lasts forever. That only lasts maybe 5 minutes. That's why big games aren't real things. You go out, you feel the atmosphere, the energy, and all that lasts for such a little time. It really goes back to the little things. Who's having better fundamentals, who's detailed, who's locked in, who's doing the right things. That's going to win football games. So we got to do a better job of that. And as leaders, it's our job to lead that area also.
And earlier he had said that he hated joint practice before he got into that whole, this is why I hate it, because it becomes more of a bleep talking fest back and forth, and everybody's trying to, get the upper hand. It's not necessarily like a game. It's more of guys pushing and shoving, and it gets outside of what he sees as a football game. So he can hate joint practice all he wants. That's fine. I would appreciate that from a competitor. And I would imagine if you asked and polled some of the players, they'd like to be out there because they're players. This is what they do for work. This is what they enjoy. I want guys that want to be out there. I also want a coaching staff. I want a front office that has their best interest in mind. Their best interest is to be delivered to the field healthy week 1.
Again, I'm not a doom and gloom guy. Like, I don't necessarily believe. I just watched the Texans. Nobody got hurt in that game. Don't bring up the fact somebody got hurt the previous practice, okay? Talking about
I wasn't
yesterday.
going to. I just looked at you.
I know everybody else will. I understand that they are down a wide receiver to an ACL, but that comes – injuries happen. This isn't something new. And in games lost for injury under Nick Sirianni as compared to the rest of the NFL, higher or lower? Lower.
Correct.
Significantly.
Yeah, pretty much. You're right. All right. Well, I just feel like there's something different with Mannion in this offense. That's all. And I think we would all agree that there is. I get it. I think you guys are kind of into the forgive me, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but you guys are into the category a little bit of you felt this way, but you were beaten down. Maybe proved wrong to a point.
Nah, I've always been anti.
Okay.
Always.
For the majority of the time, I am too. I mean, Super Bowl season, I'm not telling you the following year to play the starters. No, absolutely not. It all comes back to, again, I sound like a broken record here. It all comes back to Sean Mannion.
Yeah, but just tell me for a second. Best case scenario, you get your wish, and they play 2 series.
Yeah.
What is the best possible outcome of tomorrow night?
14 points.
Okay, and what does that do for you?
It plays the fight song 2 times.
Okay, we can play the fight song. I can play the fight song 2 times for you. I put it on the board where I can find it. We're ready to go today. If all you want to do is feel good about the Eagles on Saturday night of the preseason against the Patriots backups, because they're not going to play the starters, does that really help you sleep at night?
Me?
Sure, yes, you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. It will be the cool side of the pillow, both sides.
Dude, I slept soundly last night. And you want to know why?
Because there was no Phillies game
That
on?
joint practice win, baby. I was losing sleep all week. I didn't realize what I needed to get a good night of sleep.
It is a Victory Friday!
First one of the season, boys. 1-1. Not good enough to get Connor. What would you guys bet? Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwich. But
the precincts are checking in. Early reporting. Way too early to call it, but we are sitting at 83% to the yes, boys.
Wait. Oh, 83%, yes.
6 votes. 5 of them have gone yes.
Easy.
Am I right?
7.
All right, there you go.
Come on now.
All right, what do we got on the text line? 610-632-0975. Davis Honda text line. You could jump in by call, by voice memo, or on the Davis Honda text line. What do we got, Connor?
Johnny checks in here and says, no. Only people I want to see are rookies and backups play. I'd rather be bored watching no names than see my starters play and possibly get hurt. I don't care what other teams are or aren't doing. I want boring football until September, game 1.
Well, I want to push back on that a little bit and say that I have reasons to watch these backups.
Oh, yeah, of course you do.
There's some exciting position battles to a point, but like there's some guys making names for themselves.
If I didn't do this, would I go out of my way for the preseason game?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But it is Saturday night.
It is Saturday night.
You're right.
But I'm intrigued because I'm genuinely intrigued about the season. And I said it earlier this week, like people who were all enthusiastic about preseason game number 1, I was a little surprised.
Yeah, well, that's just because of the season is back.
Right.
And oh, by the way, I said it. Sorry.
Get the zapper. Oh, God.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a chill in the air.
Kenny said it. Feels a little different. Boys of Fall felt a little different up there in Foxborough yesterday.
Do we have anyone that's making the case that Sean's making?
Probably not.
On the text line, at least.
And I'm
Not yet.
fine with
Really, Matt from Delco checks in, says, wouldn't mind seeing the starters, but I don't need to see the starters. That's as close as we've got. I wouldn't hate it, is your ringing endorsement.
I got a couple people that hit me up yesterday because I said, if you had to make the case, I put it out there, and that's why Jason checked in with his takes. And for the most part, I think we're all on the same page on why it would be great to see it. But then everybody falls back to the reality of the situation, and Sirianni controls this, and we know how he handles the operation. So,
Yeah,
but I'm still going to have my take.
that's fine.
And whether people want to disagree with me or not, that's fine. It's not going to be the first time.
Yeah, I saw you canvassing opinions last night, and not opinions for the other side, just looking to see, could anyone help me? I got a little foundation of an argument here. I need someone to put the windows here on the house. I need someone to put a fence up around the yard. I really need to strengthen my stronghold here on this take. I got you. I saw it. I was watching. It prepared me. It was good. It was good.
I'm wearing my football guy Friday.
Yeah,
Eagles polo here.
You get hired by Big Dom over there?
Somebody called me.
Working sidelines?
What'd you call me? Mini Dom?
Some Big Dom's assistant.
Big Dom's assistant.
Hey, it looks like you got a job with the Eagles.
Give me some shades.
I'm sorry, you can't stand here. Take your video camera that way, please.
I got to get the Italian flag instead of the Irish shamrock there.
All right. We'll continue with this. I want to hear from you at 610-632-0975. Whether or not you would like to see the starters come tomorrow night in the preseason game against the New England Patriots. 2 series. You can go vote on the poll, 975 Middays. We're going to switch gears into some baseball for you. We got Tim Kirchin coming up at 11 o'clock. Tremendous Major League Baseball reporter with ESPN. Has a great event coming up in this area tomorrow that we will tell you about. But look forward to breaking down everything going on in the world of baseball with him. As it relates to the Phillies, yesterday we talked to Anthony Sanfilippo of On Pattison, and he gave us quite a ringing endorsement on the Phillies' ability to win the National League East. We'll play that for you, and we'll talk about whether or not we're buying that coming up next. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunne. This is Brace and Dunne on 97.5 The Fanatic. Earlier today on Marks and Salciunas, he's Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunne. Connor Thomas produced the program. And they're talking about what we had divvied up amongst the shows. Now, Brandon Lee Gouton went to mornings. I didn't realize. They're talking about Anthony Sanfilippo and saying that, he came to Middays, but they weren't really feeling like he was fully a Middays entity, that they were going to just go back and forth about booking. And they were saying that Anthony Sanfilippo is your guy, Connor.
Mm-hmm. I love Ansan. But I don't claim anybody. I want the station to win.
That's very nice of you.
Screw those guys in the morning.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a very nice mentality for you to have. To me, it's screw them, we're taking what we got.
That's a trooper.
Especially after I heard the Sangaro My Sharona, and I heard, which was John's idea. Give John credit on that one. I just heard hearing someone else play it.
Sure.
And then Brandon Lee Gouton on my way in yesterday. That also, made me feel some type of way.
I feel like the kid in the divorce right now. Like mom and dad are fighting right now, and I'm caught in the middle of it. They're dividing up the assets.
And that hits for a lot of people. That's a tough one because it's the reality. But you're right. This is the things that we're going through right now. Ant San was awesome. So anytime you want to book him, that was a great guy. That's the first time I spoke to him on our program, Ray.
I say that in part because of us having him yesterday and also the custody of Yacht Rock Friday.
Now, Yacht Rock Friday is a summer thing.
Is it dead? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's
preseason football killed it?
No. First show on a Friday here. We're going to bring it back. We'll bring it back for Labor Day Friday. And then we're going to send it off into the pasture until the following Yacht Rock vibe next year.
So Yacht Rock Friday begins again, what? The second weekend of the NCAA tournament? Because we broke it out earlier this year.
Yeah, I think we'll wait a little bit.
All right. So maybe April?
Correct.
All right. We'll give it some space.
I'm a big Yacht Rock guy. We're a big themed on a Friday type of guy.
Because we didn't talk about it. I just heard the music hit right there, and we were about to get to Ant Sanfilippo that I talked about earlier. And I was like, yeah, it didn't feel like a Yacht Rock type. There's a chill in the air today.
Right? 65 this morning.
Oh, man. That's horrible. That's why I'm in a sweatshirt, obviously.
Again.
All right. Enough of that. We're talking about the boys of fall, talking about the boys going to play Red October. All right. We'll get back to the football. We got some people ripping you, so we're going to get back to the football soon. Don't worry.
October is fall.
Yeah, I know. But are the boys of fall?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're starting to cross streams here.
Yeah, you're right. And you can't do that because then you get the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. You guys ever see Ghostbusters?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
All right, let's get to Anthony Sanfilippo. Yesterday on with us. We'll get back to the Eagles, whether or not you want to see their starters against the Patriots Saturday night for 2 series. Here's Anthony Sanfilippo yesterday. The question was, do you believe that it wasn't a good question, but it was a question nonetheless. Do you believe the Phillies could catch the Braves in the NL East?
I think that they're pretty good, Ray. And I'll tell you why. It's not just because of the way that they've been playing. Look at the schedules that these two teams have coming up. This stretch of games was going to be the most important games of the season for the Phillies because they're playing teams that are very beatable. I know they just lost 2 or 3 to the Cardinals, but they're a better team than the Cardinals. They should have won that series in St. Louis. It was more their fault that they didn't win it than the Cardinals were better. So you look at that's a series that's an advantage. They got Seattle coming up, who's 7 games under 500. They go to Los Angeles to play the Angels, who are the worst team in baseball. And then I forget who's right. Oh, Arizona, who, by the way, is in free fall now with the Ketel Marte thing happening with the Diamondbacks. So all of those series are happening before you even play the Braves. Meanwhile, the Braves got the White Sox today in a makeup game. They got to play at Milwaukee. They got the Dodgers coming in. Like, they got some tough games coming up. Oh, by the way, in the series between the 2 series with the Phillies, they got to play the Tampa Bay Rays. So, like, the schedule is favoring the Phillies right now, and they just made up 5 games in 6 days. So to think that they can't make up 4.5 in the next 35 games is crazy. They absolutely can.
Or will they? They can, but will they? The Braves, by the way, yesterday won the game against the White Sox, so it is 5. It was 4.5 as of yesterday.
Not only did they just win, they had a no-hitter, I think, to the 8th or 7th. Feel Fact, I think it was
Feel
the 7th.
Fact, yeah, it feels right. 2-0 win yesterday. You said they didn't just win. I was like, it was a 2-0 win, but I didn't realize it was a no-hitter all the way into the
he had it going. But, yeah, unfortunately, because now, to be honest with you, Ray, this was one of the first times this year that I've scoreboard watched.
Oh.
It's a good time
to get upset about the out-of-town scoreboard? We can get Tim Kelly on again. He can give us something about the out-of-town scoreboard.
I think Tim Kelly nailed it. I think he was right. I mean, he was a fan of all those ads.
Oh, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if there was one guy that was going to complain about it, that'd be the guy I'd call to make sure.
That's why I love Tim.
Into it.
Get off my lawn, Tim Kelly. He's right with me.
Looking at the strength of schedule, though, the Braves, 3rd toughest in all of baseball if you're just going, I'm on tankathon.com here. Phillies, 6th toughest in all the baseball. So Both of them difficult schedules the rest of the way. The Braves a little bit more difficult than the Phillies. Phillies right now, this is the time to do it. While they've got 6 games between the Brewers and the Dodgers, you got to take advantage of the spot in your schedule you're at right now with the Cardinals and the Mariners coming up. If you're going to do it, you have to be in some sort of play by the time the Braves get here Labor Day weekend. Connor Thomas is disgusted that we're even discussing it, though.
I'm not disgusted. Don't put me too far. I'm a big Phillies guy. I love this team. I believe they've got a shot, right? But they're 26-30 against teams with winning records. 26-30.
Outside of that, because are the Cardinals coming in here like right now as a team above 500? They are, by numbers-wise, but are you looking at this weekend as a measuring stick for them?
No, but they also just lost the series to this team a week ago.
I understand that, but if we're going to measure them out as all right, they have to beat the teams over 500, it's really about beating the Braves when they come to town. It's if that Brewers series means anything. How many more series this season are you looking at where it's that's a team they have to beat?
Yeah, 2 against the Braves. The Brewers is a big one if that means something when you get there. The Diamondback one is going to be interesting because I don't think that team's totally dead, even though they're in a weird spot. My problem is this. It doesn't matter if you're splitting it up into measuring stick series. If you're just looking at teams better than 500, the Phillies have not consistently beat those teams. I can't sit here and then believe in them against a team with a run differential over 100 that has been at top of the division since April. In the Atlanta Braves. I can't do that right now.
Yeah, they're good.
But
good club.
So let's dive into that 26-30 though, if we really want to get down to it, because the Phillies were 9-19 to open up the season. 6 of those Braves games, 1-5. So you had 25-25 against teams above 500. If we want to say the season started when Rob Thompson got fired. Okay. There was also a 3-game series against the Cubs, so they got swept. That ended up getting Thompson fired. So since they're not a million games over 500 against teams above 500, but since Mattingly's been the manager, and this is not a Mattingly praising program here, but they're 25-22 against teams above 500.
Sure, right.
Maybe I have to go look through at April. I don't know who else was above 500 in that stretch where they were 9-19. We could get that after we talk to Tim Kirchin coming up. I understand what you're saying, and they do have to prove it against teams that are above 500. I'm not trying to discount that at all, but there's only so many more series then that we could take seriously if our bar is it has to be a contending team.
No, all of them I take seriously. It's just people are seeing them beat the Twins and the Marlins, and the next thing you know, it's you made up all this ground on Atlanta. And if that series goes your way when you match up with them for 4 games, we're taking something that is not totally related to playing the good teams in baseball, and we're trying to use it to overwrite 4 months of what we've seen this team to be. Do I believe they can
4
be better?
years.
Well, I'm just talking about this year with the inconsistencies. They've been more inconsistent this year. I need a heavy set of influential data points to tell me that this team is different than what I watched for 4 months.
Well, I would say this month pushes you in that right direction, but if your data point is solely based on the opponent, then I can only sell you on that Labor Day matchup against the Braves, which is going to be extremely important. You got 6 series left on the road. You got 6 series left at home. Perfect split. I think it's easily obtainable. I really do. I think, and the odds makers now, we talked about it a couple of days ago, plus 390 on DraftKings. That the
it's dropped under 400.
It's under 400 right now. So your boy is sitting with a plus 500 play. I told you that was a good play to have in your pocket, but I digress. With that being said, Connor, I understand where you're at. I also think you're falling a little bit, maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, into being beaten down over the years past. Because I put my hand up. This whole year I was beaten down with what took place last year.
Yeah, I don't give a crap about the last 4 years. I'm just focusing on this season.
This team?
I'm very good at compartmentalizing seasons. I don't have that fatigue with this team.
Okay. But then you can't tell me that August is not different than the other months.
I can tell you that they've been better in August.
Okay.
I can tell you that they had a month where they wanted a 600 clip, and then the next month they wanted a 300 clip. This team is inconsistent, and 3 weeks is not going to change that for me, especially against teams that are not winning teams.
Well, we'll talk about whether or not that's changed the national perspective on him with Tim Kirchin coming up next. He joins us, ESPN baseball reporter. We'll dive into what he's got going on. He's going to be in town tomorrow, a great event with his son, Jeff Kirchin, coming up tomorrow. We'll tell you about it with him next and dive into everything Phillies. And I'll get that over under 500 record for you when we get back after we finish up with Tim Kirchin. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. This is Brace and Dunn on 97.5 The Fanatic.
and the Fanatic app.
Well, welcome back in. Brace and Dunne here on 97.5 The Fanatic alongside Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunne hanging out with you today. Phillies have won 6 in a row. The seesaw swinging up and down, back and forth. Now everybody back high on the team. And to talk about this team and all of Major League Baseball, as well as a great event that he's got going on up at Sunnybrook. It's very excited to see what they got going up there. Soul Joel's near where I'm from. The great Tim Kirchin joins us right now. Tim, we appreciate you taking a couple of minutes for us. And I want to start with the excitement around the Phillies because they're 5 back of the Braves now. And I'm curious for you. Obviously tough to overcome this late in the season. But do you see this Phillies team as capable of coming back and winning the National League East?
They're certainly capable. I think the Braves are going to start going again. They've only scored 17 runs in their last 7 games. That cannot continue. That team is too good offensively to struggle like this. I think they're going to play better down the stretch, but I think they're going to win the division. But the Phillies are good. The Phillies could catch the Braves. It's conceivable. And they're going to make the playoffs. I know people have wondered about that, but they've won 6 in a row and 8 out of 10, and they're starting to look like the team that we thought they would be at their best this year. So I like very much where the Phillies are now. They can win the division. They're definitely making the playoffs for me, and they could be a dangerous team in October if, of course, they keep playing like this.
I think the big question around baseball has been for a while, before the Dodgers going through a little bit of a skid in August, is the biggest competitor to the Dodgers. Who do you see as that team that competes with L.A.? The Phillies have fit into that for quite a while. They go on a little bit of a skid. Some people might have backed off it. For you, who do you see as the biggest competitor to the Dodgers, and where do the Phillies fall into that conversation?
Yeah, the Brewers are the biggest competition for the Dodgers. The Brewers are 30 games over 500. The Brewers have a 1-2-3 in Kyle Harrison and Logan Henderson, and of course Jacob Mizorowski, that can match up with any 3 in baseball right now. And offensively, they are just so different than other teams out there. They're 5th in the major leagues in runs scored and last in homers. And in this era where you have to hit the ball out of the ballpark in order to win, the Brewers have found another way to win. They are just so creative offensively. They run. They're 3rd in the league in stolen bases. They run until people throw them out. They're fundamentally the best team, for me at least, in the major leagues. They do so many things correctly. They put the ball in play. I really like where the Brewers are right now, and I think they are the clear number 1 team that can knock off the Dodgers. But again, this is baseball, fellas. Anything is possible. The Phillies are good enough to do that, too. They just have to keep playing exceptionally well.
Yeah, we continue to see new things. Of course, Baez last weekend with the 3 home runs, 3 straight at-bats. Tim, you got to love it. I know you're a baseball lifer, so it's fun. It's a great sport to cover, of course, for 162 because something always changes. And out of nowhere, the Phillies are the hottest team in the month of August. One thing that I am buying into right now, Tim, as far as stock is concerned, is their approach at the dish. Quote, they are staying aggressive to their plan. That's what JT Realmuto said. So you're seeing things like they have the number 1 on-base percentage in the month of August at 362. Of course, Luis Ariz has been added. But I'm asking you, though, do you think that's sustainable? And what has been the biggest difference in your mind as far as their approach at the dish?
Well, I think Ariz is the biggest difference because I know when he went to the Padres a couple of years ago, I was with the Padres quite a bit during that time. And those guys told me, guys on the team said, we have a different way of looking at a hitting approach after watching that guy because he puts it in play better than anyone in the game today. More walks and strikeouts, which is just unheard of. And I think everyone watches and says, all right, I can't be like him. And you don't want Kyle Schwarber to be exactly like him, of course, but he changes the way people look at how to approach an at-bat because he never gives up an at-bat. He never gives up on a pitch, and his goal is to make something happen every single time he goes up there. And I think he's been the biggest difference, but there are also some good players on this team that have just now finally started to hit. Al Bone's a good player. and he's gotten hot finally. And, Trey Turner's a really good player. When all these guys are playing well at the same time, Phillies have a really good team.
We're talking to Tim Kirchin of ESPN. I want to dive in on one of those players playing really well right now, Bryson Stott. How impressed have you been with the way they've been able to reshuffle this infield, Stott playing at third base, how well he's played there, and then obviously the offensive production you've seen through most of this season?
Yeah, he's been a much improved player this year. I mean, he was really good when he came up, and I remember Rob Thompson telling me over and over again how good a hitter this kid is. First time he ever saw him, he said, wow, does he got an idea of what he's doing in there? But to switch positions like this, and that is not an easy switch. Second base and third base, there are not a whole lot of comparisons there. And I've done several stories in my career on shortstops who moved to third base. Alex Rodriguez, Jim Pergozzi, Rico Petrocelli. That is a really difficult move. So second base, when you're playing on the other side of the diamond, and now you're playing on the left side, and you're way closer to home plate, that is an equally difficult change, and he has done it beautifully so far. I'm not surprised because he's such a good athlete, but what he's doing, not a whole lot of people can go from second to third and be that good defensively and still manage to hit.
Tim, what's your take on the managerial position right now with Don Mattingly currently in the position, yet there are rumors and articles being written about Alex Cora. Don was asked about specifically, and he said it's win or bust. I love the answer. I don't think it was necessarily fair, especially where they're at this point in time of the season. But what is your take? Is your read that Alex Cora is the next guy in charge of the Phillies?
Well, I certainly said that at the time, but Don Mattingly has really, I think, has done a really good job with this team. And I think it should be up to him if if they play really well the rest of the way, and if he wants to come back, then I think he will and should be given a chance to come back. If, however, things don't go well, or he decides this is not what I want to do long term, I've done this in several places. I don't want to do it anymore. It's a taxing job, and not the same job it used to be being a major league manager. We lost so much responsibility and manager. So I don't think the Phillies can lose on this. If Don Mattingly says, I want to come back, they should be happy about that. If he says, I'm going to move on, and Alex Cora becomes available and wants to come to Philadelphia, you can't lose on that one either. Alex Cora is one of the best managers I've been around. He explains things so beautifully. He's bilingual. He played the game. He played it at different levels. I don't think the Phillies can go wrong with Don Mattingly or Alex Cora.
Let's go a little bit higher up in the organization here to Dave Dombrowski, because a story came out about him getting a contract extension potentially this offseason. And from the big picture, obviously this team's been a contender year in and year out. Locally, there could be fatigue with the same guy running the show. What do you make of the job that Dave Dombrowski's done for the Phillies?
I think he's done a good job with the Phillies. I think he deserves an extension, and I think I'm guessing still, he's going to get an extension. This is one of the best executives the game has seen, and he's got a chance to be a Hall of Fame executive someday. And the thought that there's just the same voice, same thing, that's not Dave Dombrowski. He is very flexible about recognizing, all right, we're not good enough right here. We got to go change. And he's the first guy in line to say, I'm going to trade our best kid if I have to get somebody that can come in here and help us win. So I think he's done a good job. I don't think there's any fatigue there. I think he's still really good at what he does, and I think the Phillies are lucky to have him running their organization.
All right, Tim, let's go national. I'm going to get selfish on you. I am just in love with this NL MVP battle. Unfortunately, Kyle Schwarber not in the mix just yet. Who knows what happens over the month of September. But PCA out there in Chicago and a guy by the name of Shohei Ohtani that I think we're all, we understand what he's capable of. Here we're at, though. If I could sit here and tell you that the numbers are basically a wash, like these guys are the best at their game across the board, all metrics. And I'm just curious, right here, right now, is Pete Crow Armstrong actually more valuable than Shohei Ohtani to you, Tim?
Well, it's a toss-up there. There's no right or wrong answer here. And this is what the MVP race is supposed to be, that the last 5 weeks of the season is going to determine who wins the MVP. I would say at the moment, I would go with PCA just because of what he's done for the Cubs. He is clearly the ringleader of that team in every way. He's got 31 homers. He's the first Cub ever to have a 30-30 season, back-to-back seasons. Craig Counsell told me that PCA is the best defensive player at any position on the planet. And he said he's the fastest player in the league, and he said his kind of fast is like nothing I've ever seen in the major leagues. He can win a game with his legs, which he did the other day, stealing third, scoring on a wild throw. He can win a game with his glove because he's brilliant out there, and he's got 31 home runs. However, Ohtani is going to be right there at the end no matter what. But if he pitches like really well in September and helps the Dodgers get to where they want to go and is part of the rotation, that may be enough for people to say, hey, look at the ERA on this guy, and he's going to hit 45 home runs. I think it's going to be a dead heat right to the end. It's a pick 'em. I'll take PCA for the moment with the understanding anything could change the last 5 weeks.
We appreciate you taking the time to talk with us about all things baseball, but we want to talk about what you got going on up in Pottstown, the Sunnybrook Ballroom tomorrow at 2 o'clock. You, your son, Jeff, who works just down the hall from us here, you guys have a wonderful podcast, Is This a Great Game or What? And you guys are doing a fundraiser for Mike Brown and his family. He's fighting ALS right now. People can get tickets at souljewels.com, but tell them a little bit about what you guys are going to do tomorrow afternoon and a little bit of what people might be able to win if they come out.
Well, we're going to just talk baseball for an hour or so, maybe longer, and we're going to have audience participation, and it's going to be fun. We're going to laugh, and we're going to learn, and we're going to do whatever it takes to raise money for Michael Brown and his family. I lost my brother to ALS 3 years ago. Our family is still devastated by that, and we always will be. So I know how much of a burden financially and otherwise this can take on a family. So I've known Michael for years now. He's a wonderful man, and we're going to do whatever we can to help him out here. There are all sorts of, prizes and things like that my son Jeff is in charge of. We've got shirts, we've got hats, and we've got lunches, I think, with me. We've got books that we'll put in, and it's going to be a great event. At least I hope so, because it's all going to be about baseball, loving the game, and Michael Brown loves the game as much as basically anyone I've ever known, and this is all for him.
Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, Sunnybrook Ballroom. If I say it a third time, I'll get it right for sure. 2 o'clock tomorrow out there in Pottstown. You get tickets at souljewels.com. I'm hearing there's auctioning off of tickets. And I'm very interested in this. A 4-pack of tickets to a Phillies game with you.
Yo.
I've heard that the Phillies game, Connor Thomas has done. A Phillies game with you is a tremendous time.
Yeah, that'll be on September the 10th. And anytime I can go to a game, I'm happy about that. But when I can go with people who love the game, I love to just sit around and watch a game, maybe not even working that game, just watching a game with people who have the same love for the game that I do. So that will be hopefully a big moneymaker, and the Phillies, of course, are going to help us out with tickets and make sure this happens. As I said, anything for Michael Brown.
Absolutely. 100% of the proceeds going to him and his family as fight against ALS. We appreciate you taking the time to join us in just a tremendous cause that you guys have going on tomorrow. Again, the Sunnybrook Ballroom up there in Pottstown. You get your tickets at souljewels.com. Thank you so much, Tim. Look forward to talking to you down the line.
Okay, my pleasure, fellas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tim Kirchin of ESPN joining us there. Again, tomorrow, 2 o'clock up there at Pottstown. Soul not far from where I grew up.
Where at, though, again?
The Sunnybrook Ballroom.
Okay.
Yes.
That's great work. You're 2 for 2.
Yes, exactly. If you
Batting
don't count the first two, I didn't get it wrong once. 100% of the proceeds, really, really good that they're doing out there. Is This a Great Game or What? The podcast, doing a live podcast there for an hour.
I would love to win those tickets to catch a game with Tim Kirchin for 9 innings.
Also, word is Chris Stapleton tickets also being auctioned off. Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's more of a Jeff production. I've been told that Tim has no idea who Chris Stapleton is.
That's all right.
I could see that. This guy loves baseball. He lives baseball.
If he played third base for the Red Sox, he'd know who Chris Stapleton was. Unfortunately, he does not.
Couple quick things on that interview. Of course, nobody knows more than Tim Kirchin when it comes to the game of baseball. Tremendous at Baseball Tonight. Was watching him during the trade deadline. Just, a lot of people want to bring it back to the old days of ESPN. Well, no disrespect to Tim, but that's it. Baseball Tonight, Buster Olney, Tim Kirchin, nothing better than that. However, the big one for me was the Alex Cora and Don Mattingly conversation. The Phillies can't lose with either. Ray, do you agree with that?
No.
Connor?
Jim?
I don't really see. I'm down more on Alex Cora than the average person, but it's very hard. Baseball's the one sport where I will take the insider information on who a manager is over the eye test, because there is no eye test. They don't do anything. All due respect to Magic Mattingly, they don't do crap. They pick who's pitching next, and they set the lineup, and they chat with the boys. I know I'm really underselling that, but from the outside looking in, it's very hard to tell what the differences in a manager are going to be. So I'm going to trust Tim.
Yeah.
I'll say yes.
I'm right there with you on that. Although I am an Alex Cora guy, I was a Don Mattingly guy.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's really pushed the right buttons, especially when it comes to certain situations.
He overmanages.
You think he overmanages?
I do. I think I don't think he didn't have a feel on Nola for a while. Now Nola's made it where he has no feel. But the defensive realignment that they're doing, like the other night where they're pinch running Hill for a rise is coming out. They pinch run for Schwarber at one point, and then Schwarber ended up almost coming up again in the lineup. I think he's trying to move a lot of pieces, and it's hard to blame a guy when you're put in a situation where Alec Boehm's playing first base, Bryson Stott's at third base, you put Harper out in the outfield. Like, Dombrowski almost put him in a position where he has to think about and try and calculate all these things. So maybe by the time we get to September, he's out of this. But I really feel like since they made the deal for a rise, he's rediscovered defensive substitutions and double switching and all those things, and he's just like right now binging it. It's like, oh, I remember that TV show. That TV show was great. I want to watch it now for 6 hours at a time.
That's great.
I think he's doing a little too much with that right now.
Well, I would say I can't argue with the pinch running. You're right about that. But do you not believe that the defensive changes was from the top down?
Of course it was from the top down. But I think in-game, in the 8th inning, I don't think they're telling him you got a pinch run here so that this guy can go here, go here.
No, I wouldn't argue that. But I do think, hey, look, we're going to move Bryce Harper to the outfield. We're going to put Alec Boehm over at first.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he decided on that.
Correct.
Now, here's the really interesting thing that I thought from that. The Dave Dombrowski thing is we've heard it from a billion people. We've heard it from Buster Olney. We've heard it from John Heyman, Bob Nightingale, and now from Tim Kirchin. There are two paths here. I want you guys to choose. Either the entire fan base of the Philadelphia Phillies is completely wrong on this guy, and we are spoiled brats, and we are hating a Lock Hall of Fame guy who fully deserves this extension because everybody's telling us he's going to get one. Or Dave Dombrowski has gone O's the mentalist and completely somehow brainwashed the entire sport of baseball. Organizations, reporters, everybody. Which one is it? Who's wrong here? Because somebody's wrong.
I think you can't argue with the success. I get it. Not championships. Understood. There's only one team that wins a championship, right? Like, I know that's the cliche, but it's the reality.
True.
You can't argue with division pennants. Like, that is a huge accomplishment.
Yep.
And he's got back-to-back. Like, this team has been in the playoffs every year that he's been here, correct?
No, 21.
No, that's incorrect. You're right. But still, for back-to-back seasons. So, like, that's where he has the ultimate argument killer, the trump card, if I may. Boys, look at my success. Regular season, I get it. Bottom line is, you got to win in the regular season to compete in the big dance, and we have done that with the Phillies. So I side with Dombrowski being good at his gig, but there are plenty of times that you're just like, you're missing the mark here, Dave.
Dave Dombrowski gives you a higher floor than 95% of executives across baseball. It's the reason why he's going to be a Hall of Famer. You can point to that guy gets your team to the postseason. That guy puts together a good club.
We have a good club.
And they're able to get themselves nearly to the 90-win threshold. The question is whether or not at this point you believe in him to be bold enough to change things up enough to give this team a dynamic that can get over the top. And that's the biggest question against him. And it's why an insider like Tim Kirchin, I understand why he says they're lucky to have him. Because you look across baseball and you say that executive's dumb, well, he's not saying that, I'm saying that, but he's like, I don't know if that guy knows what he's doing. That guy made a questionable move. And you look at Dave Dombrowski's resume. It's why Dombrowski laughs at Tim Kelly asking him if he thinks that he should still be the president of baseball operations. Because it's like, yeah, why wouldn't I be? Look at my resume. The issue is what you've accomplished doesn't always guarantee where you're going to go. And what he's accomplished shows you plenty, but where he's going to go if he keeps being the same old status quo, I don't think you win a World Series that way.
Wrap up with this one for both of you guys. 70-58 right here, right now. You're fighting Phillies are. That's 34 games left in the regular season. You said 90 win mark. He'll get you to there. Do the Phillies get to 90? Do they go over 90, yes or no?
I would say no.
34 games left. Connor, what do you say to that?
I had 91 at the start of the season, so to keep the party line, we're sticking with 91.
If you had no preseason prediction, what is
No, they don't make it there.
Okay.
All right, speaking of records, I've got their record against teams above 500 under Don Mattingly. We'll give that to you next. And also, can we throw some flowers at the feet of someone at the risk of...
I appreciate that. Finally, thank you. We've been doing a show all week. I've been waiting for my flowers.
Yeah, survey did not say that one. This was only a one-person survey. We'll throw flowers somewhere else at the risk of maybe jinxing him for tonight. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. Brace and Dunn, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Finishing up in New England, I'm Connor Thomas. This update is brought to you by Morgenstern Medical. Losing your hair and wish you could do something about it? Call the trusted team at Morgenstern Medical, because where you go matters. Call 610-830-HAIR. The Eagles wrapped up their joint practices with the Patriots yesterday. Bit of a tense day. There were multiple scuffles, but ultimately seems like the Birds had the better day of the two teams. Zach Berman of The Athletic joined Marks and Salciunas this morning. Talked about what the Eagles got out of their joint practices.
Overall in practice, I think the Eagles showed some progress yesterday, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think that Patriots might have gotten like a slight edge overall. I think the key is the quality reps that you get and how that affects you for the season.
They'll spend today preparing for the preseason game in New England. That's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. The Phillies are back in action against the Cardinals after having the day off yesterday. 6:40 p.m. the time for first pitch at the bank. The Braves won yesterday. The Phillies are 5 games back in the NL East, so Jesus Luzardo goes to the mound with a chance to try and improve on that. He faces Hunter Dobbins. The Union travel to Texas to face Austin FC tomorrow night at 8:30. You can hear that live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Don't miss our second Tim of the show, Tim McManus, joining us at 1 o'clock to talk about those joint practices in New England with the Eagles. This update is brought to you by Verizon Business. Verizon Business experts love small businesses, so they come directly to you on your schedule with real expertise tailored to your needs. Make an appointment with a Verizon Business expert. Go to Verizon.com/book today. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Welcome back in. Brace and Dunne here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Great to talk with Tim Kirchin. I think that's the overall takeaway. I read the YouTube chat. I got a text, and the three of us talking like he's just the best.
Yeah, it comes back to what I said earlier. That he's been doing it forever. You're comfortable with his opinion. You trust him. If you don't trust Tim Kirchin in the state of baseball, who do you trust? Pete Rose?
Nope. Certainly wouldn't trust Pete Rose.
All right.
Rank your Tims.
A-Rod?
We got Kelly week 1. We got Kirchin. We got McManus coming up at 1 o'clock.
Oh, don't do it to me like that. I love Tim Kelly. I love Tim Kirchin, but I am always a McManus guy.
That's because you see him at work when you're working down there at the Jeff. Big Dom's assistant right here.
I got to go Kirchin because I had the long-standing one-side beef with Tim McManus that Ray knows about, I think, from the pregame show. The year before.
Did we clear that up today?
We have had it clear. He's called me Connor since.
Okay.
I used to ask questions on the pregame show 2 years ago when it was me, Andrew, and Bill.
Okay.
And every time, well, Andrew, whenever I asked the question,
That's great.
I never had the heart to correct him because it's Tim McManus.
It's Tim.
So I'll give the nod to Kirchin.
Tim's a legend. He's been doing it for a long time. Really good at what he does. Another man's opinion that I trust out of the Jeff.
So all 4 of them end up, or all 3 of them end up on your Mount Rushmore of Tims. You just need to find a 4th.
Tim Raines.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Tim Raines growing up. Yeah.
All right. That's interesting.
I'd throw Tebow on there.
I was going to say Tebow's first one that comes to mind. We're talking about Tim's, but I don't think I'll put him on my Mount Rushmore, with all due respect. Actually, I don't think Tebow will ever hear that I said that, so I don't need to add that with all due respect.
South Park Timmy.
Timmy! All right. Back into the Phils.
Yeah.
Because we had this discussion before Tim Kirchin came on about their record against teams above 500. So they're 26-30 this year against teams above 500. Did you go look into the numbers?
I do not have the numbers.
Okay, you did not look into this. Did you look into the numbers?
You can't say I did, right?
Okay, so Rob Thompson, the record with Rob Thompson, that 9-19 start against teams above 500, they were 3-13 against teams above 500, which also plays into why a guy loses his job.
That's not good, right?
They were 6-6 against teams that right now are under 500 or at 500 and below. Under Don Mattingly, for those amongst our audience that cannot do math and did not try and do the math while I'm talking, 23-17 against teams above 500. Does that move the needle at all for you, Connor Thomas?
Yeah, a little bit. But, again, remember my comments on the Cora Mattingly question that we had after Tim? I don't think a manager really does all that much. I think they've just been playing better baseball. But it's the same team. It's not Mattingly versus Thompson. It's who in the world is Trey Turner, Alec Boehm, like Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber. The guys on the field are what matter to me.
Taijuan Walker got multiple starts in that stretch with Rob Thompson, replaced by Zach Wheeler. Does that do anything for you?
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Luis Arise now in this lineup versus, what am I trying? I'm going to try and start doing Otto Kemp playing left field. Sorry, that's a shot below.
Here's my thing. It's not that they can't. I'm not telling you they can't. I'm not telling you you should not believe. I'm saying that I have not seen it yet, and I'm in the business of reacting to things I see, not believing in things that I haven't.
I like that.
That's fair.
Put that on a T-shirt. However,
long for a T-shirt.
Yeah, it is pretty long. However, what about this Cardinals team, who I believe has now won 5 straight series, including taking 2 of 3 against the Phillies, where they outscored them 18-2 in those final 2 games? This is a tough test. And you get Luzardo to start, right? Like, am I overselling that to you? This is a team that is playing absolutely better baseball. We know the names. They got some good hitting, decent pitching, not trying to make them out to be, something that they're not on the hill. But you are what your schedule says you are, like Parcells would tell you. This team is coming in hot right now.
Sure. Cardinals playing good baseball right now. But let's remember, boys, what the mission is here. The mission is not make the postseason. The mission is not, prove that you can beat a team that can be above 500 consistently. Like, the mission is to win the World Series.
Okay.
To me, this conversation feels like we're fighting tooth and nail to get to where we've been for the past 2 years. And that's not good enough. And it's not going to be good enough in October. And when we get there, if the Phillies do get knocked out because they can't play against Dodgers, Brewers, Braves, well, we're in the same spot. So, sure, are they better than some people gave them credit for a couple weeks ago? Yes. Are they good enough to win the World Series? That's still the bar.
I feel like if we keep shooting at Connor, we're cracking him. We're
a little bit. He does have us in the Dodgers, Brewers, Braves thing. The
Yeah.
Braves, they haven't played since Thompson got dismissed, so we'll find out a little bit more about how they match up with the Braves. To me, the Brewers and the Dodgers thing, I can't really fight you on that one. I came out of that Dodgers series like, yeah, there's a gap between these two teams. The Brewers, I know you don't believe in, even though you throw them in there. I do believe in them. And if you really want to dive into there, here's maybe where the 23-17 loses a little bit of its luster. They were 6-0 against the Padres when the Padres weren't good, which would drop that record to 17-17 against teams over 500.
I think this is important to put out there for people because you just don't keep up with this stuff all the time. The Cubs currently own the first wild card spot. Phillies are number 2. Padres are 2 games behind the Phillies, I believe, right now. Then you go Diamondbacks, Cardinals, and Marlins. We'll stop there. Just to let you know, Phillies have series, correct me if I'm wrong, boys, against the Padres.
No Padres.
No Padres left?
No Padres.
Oh,
106 against them.
Diamondbacks, Cardinals, of course. Marlins?
I think they might be
I think they're done against
Maybe
the Marlins.
done. Yeah, I think they've only got Nationals, Mets, Braves left when it comes to the division.
Yeah, Miami's done.
Okay.
Oh, man, that was it. We didn't even have like a goodbye for them on Wednesday. We should have said, did something.
It's been a long day.
The bottom feeders, as Ricky Bo once called them. They love having fun with that on
I
free
gotta
post.
get down to that stadium though. That
Where?
stadium looks fun.
Miami?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why you want to go to Miami, for the Marlins game.
I've never been
Famously why people want to go to Miami.
I've never been
Great
to
beers,
Miami.
pretty hard to get a foul ball. Fun stadium.
What, Zach Hamble running around there?
Oh, no, Phillies Karen. Don't forget.
All right, real quick, put a bow on the Phillies conversation, because tonight you mentioned Luzardo going.
Yes.
Have we not shown enough love
Yes.
to Jesus Luzardo yet
Yes.
this season?
Answer your question. Yes. Monster minus 245 favorite tonight.
What Jesus Luzardo has been since his first 8 starts, because he started out with a 5.77 ERA through the middle of May. Since that time, he is third in ERA with a 2.19 ERA. If you want to go and WAR, what's it good for? Well, I'll go with the Fangraphs version of WAR for you, because he is second in Major League Baseball in that time to The Miz. That's it. At that time with a 3.4 F WAR for you. 10th in strikeouts per 9 across all the baseball in that time, and he has the second most innings pitched. We talk a lot about what Wheeler and Sanchez could do to carry you, and obviously everyone goes to the top 3. Luzardo gets his credit in that top 3, but you usually look at Sanchez and you look at Wheeler. And if we want to go through moves that Dombrowski's made that's justified an extension, whether or not you believe it, he actually is justified to get the extension, trading for Luzardo has been a tremendous move for this team. And I don't think he's gotten nearly enough credit for what he's done night in and night out for this team this season, especially if you look from that stretch of the middle of May till now. They've got him on the mound tonight, which means I might be putting in jeopardy that start tonight. But I don't think people have loved on just enough of what you've gotten out of Jesus Luzardo this season.
No argument from me, my friend. Nice work there.
What would Jesus do is what I'm asking myself every single day, and especially every 5 days here. Connor Thomas?
Listen, it's another feather in the cap of Dave Dombrowski. Making that trade where nobody saw that trade coming. Adding a guy that was in the Cy Young conversation last year. The weird thing to me is he feels like he has a lower floor than a Zach Wheeler or Christopher Sanchez with those blow-up starts we've seen.
For sure, which is why he had the 5.77 ERA at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but we saw that last year where he had like a stretch of 14 runs given up in 2 games or something. And it was just lights out.
By the way, and I love Ranger, so I don't want to make this a shot at Ranger, but Dombrowski made the move in anticipation they were not going to keep Ranger. Ranger Suarez has not gone 6 full innings since the end of June. This is, and I get it, compare the end of the, people always look at Nola and Painter as well, that could be Ranger Suarez. The guy they traded for to replace Ranger has done it. And there should be credit given there. You can't have 5 superstar arms.
Well,
Jesus Luzardo has been to that level. All right, well, yeah, if you're the Dodgers.
one team
Listen,
does.
I want to go into those books. I don't understand financially what's happening with that guy out in L.A., but I got a lot of questions for who's cooking the books out there for the Dodgers and the former Lakers owner. I don't understand all the finance stuff. I got a communications degree.
I know who it is. Shohei's interpreter.
Oh, that's who we're blaming it on?
That's it.
He's going to do more jail time because that owner for the Dodgers is... I don't even get the investigation going on. I'll be honest with you. I'm dumb. All right? I got a communications
Clip
degree.
that. Thank you.
That's fine.
Last week
Whatever it is,
report coming up.
He's cooking the books. Speaking of what's coming up for you, I want to get into the voice memos we got in the Eagles playing the starters because we got some of those coming up. We'll get to those at 610-632-0975. We haven't talked a lot of Sixers this week. Tyrese Maxey, talk about who's taking the last shot for this team. Those workout videos, man. I rewatched. Be honest with you, it's
That picture.
getting me excited.
That image is unbelievable.
Get me excited, Sean Brace. We'll get into those Sixers coming up next. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunne. Brace and Dunne here on 97.5 The Fanatic. 1 week. It took 1 week for doing this show to actually have me lined up with Bill Colarulo. The two of you have conspired against me in a way I never could have seen coming.
How so?
I thought it'd just be like boys hanging out, drinking beer, having a good time talking sports. And now the two of you have decided, you know what? To hell with Ray.
That's
I
not
hate it.
true.
I hate it.
Hey, Ray.
Why would you say such a thing, Ray?
I love that question is on equal playing field of good questions.
So the good question hunting a game that is taking the sports talk radio world by storm.
Correct.
Has an interesting conversation behind the scenes where I don't necessarily agree that we change the game after it's already started. You want to add, the rule book has already been printed. Folks, if you're just joining us, when we have a guest join us and they say hey, that's a good question to Ray or myself, that's 1 point. If they go, hey, that's a great question, that's 2 points. Because it happens a lot in sports talk radio interviews. Oh, that's a good question. It's a great question. 99% of the time, they never say, I love that question.
Which makes it rarer. If you pulled a sports card that doesn't exist 99% of the world, that makes it more valuable.
So, what if they say that's an excellent question? It's like we
just give out 1 point for the acknowledgement of a good question. That's the entire game is acknowledging the guest liking the question.
The good question hunting judge is the end-all, be-all, in my opinion. So we have to go to Connor Thomas. And I will say this. Connor, I will take your word, and we will roll with what your thoughts are on this. To me, less is more. We go with what we have. Good question 1, great question 2. You say to that what?
I need it verbatim because I'm going to become public enemy number 1 on this show if we have all of these different qualifiers of what counts and what doesn't.
I agree.
I just need verbatim. Make it easy for me.
Time out. What was your take on the automated balls and strikes?
I like the challenge system. I don't want it to be overall taking. I still need the umpire.
Okay, so you like the human feel to the strike zone.
This isn't the strike zone, Ray.
This is very much the strike zone. They have a verbatim strike zone. Right now, we're giving a little bit of air of where you're calling the balls and the strikes.
You know what? No, you're right. And guess who's the umpire here? And you?
Yeah!
Hell yeah, it's Friday. I'm out.
Now you can come over here and kick dirt on my shoes if you want to. He's gone. Hit the showers.
That's great. That's great. See ya.
Sean, you got this segment. Play ball.
Let's go to the YouTube chat. I can't. No, he's got a point. I just think we get, first of all, I do want to say this. We have something. It's fun. It adds an extra element to what we're trying to do where we're not splitting the atom. We're not curing certain diseases out there. We're having fun. We're talking some sports, and that's what it's all about. We're getting you through your day. We're having a blast. It adds an extra element to the interview that I don't think I've ever gotten before.
Oh, it's fun.
Where it's like now you're watching, waiting to see if Tim Kirchin goes, oh, that's a great question.
Which he didn't.
He did not. He didn't budge. He's a crafty veteran.
Yeah, he's asked much better questions than us in his life.
I am willing to do this today, but we settle today. Today is it. Doesn't move. What does the YouTube chatter say? They are with us point blank from start to finish. They're the best. If they feel like we should add to the repertoire and open it up for Connor Thomas to be the end-all, be-all, then I am fine. He is the Judge Judy of the program. I am fine with that. If they don't and they like the 1 and 2, then I think we stay with that.
We'll see. We'll see what they say.
Do you agree with that, Ray?
Fine.
Okay.
I'm outvoted here. We got the umpire and we got the guy in the lead here. All right. I want to get to what Tyrese Maxey had to say. Because I'm done.
Oh, by the way, I said it again. 4-1. 4-1 me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There we go. I like that. We need to keep that for every by the way.
4-1.
Oh, by the way, Tyrese Maxey talked about the last shot with this team. He was working out with Jaylen Brown, LeBron James. He's played with Joel Embiid for a long time. I know that VJ Edgecombe looked pretty good in the Rico Hines runs videos that I saw. How are they going to approach who gets the ball last?
I think it just depends on what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? I think we have the ultimate confidence in a lot of different guys. I think people want to say VJ's our 5th option, but last year he took a lot of shots in the clutch. You know what I mean? And he made a lot of shots in the clutch. You know, there was a couple times where I got doubled or Joel got doubled, and we had to kick it out to VJ, and he had to make a shot. It's going to be different people. We're going to see how it goes and see how it flows. And I think the biggest thing is we can't have nobody on this team can have an ego. You know what I'm saying? We have 2 guys that have won the regular season MVPs. 2 guys that have won Finals MVPs, multiple gold medal winners on this team, multiple 25-plus points per game, All-Stars, All-NBA. We've all are pretty accomplished, so the ego has to drop.
That's the biggest thing with this team. If the ego drops for everyone, you're in a great spot.
Oh, that's what they were saying about this show.
Oh, really?
I can't.
I didn't realize Connor had such one.
Oh, you didn't? Have you met me?
I think this is the truth. He's sending us shirtless pictures yesterday. This guy,
He did,
he's
actually.
yoked.
Not for air.
He's yoked.
No, that's for air.
He is yoked. Connor is yoked.
NSFW.
Wow. Dude, you hide it, bro. What's going on? If I was you, I'd be running around like Jaylen Brown, shirtless.
I'm saving the season with the stupid Hawaiian shirt that I've got stuck to my body now.
No, don't give him the leash to be shirtless in there, because then he will be.
To Tyrese Maxey, though, it's very important that this, a lot like with my Sean Mannion conversation, that this gets figured out as soon as possible. It's really important that the chemistry gets figured out as soon as possible. It can't be like, hey, there's your ball, this is your shot. Next time down the floor, hey, there's the shot. It's your turn. It cannot be that. There's got to be a flow. The good news is these guys are great at what they do. LeBron's been in the game. He's potential. I don't have to go down the resume.
Right.
We know how good Joel Embiid is. We know how good these guys are. But I think it's more important than ever to have Nick Nurse stand up and deliver on who the hell you've been sold to us from the beginning. He's had some bright spots, but for the most part, I'm kind of down on Nick Nurse and his tenure as the 76ers head coach. Fair or unfair, don't care. This is where we're at. He needs to be the guy that shines.
Okay, maybe he has to be the one that shines. I still think egos rule the day on this one. Like, it has to be on them. It has to be on the individual players to identify what they're doing in that moment. Like Nick Nurse, draw up the play, but anyone can run and just absolutely crash what you're doing as a team if they're like, you know what, no, the best shot's me. I'm the one that's going to take the shot. Like, I think it's more about you checking your ego than it's about what Nick Nurse is drawing up, at least originally. The biggest thing I want with the ball in whoever's hands at the end of the game, I just want LeBron to have it to start. That's why I believe in initiating this and creating the opportunity for you. I don't need him taking the shot. In fact, I think he probably would be lower on the list of people I want to take the shot of all of them.
LeBron James. Did you watch him in December when he came in here?
Pure shot
South
making?
Philly? And he took over in the fourth quarter? I don't know. I can't sit here and give you that answer right now. Like, how does the game play out? Isn't there such thing as matchups?
There is.
The hot hand in the dice game,
I would
right?
I would want the ball in his hands to start the possession.
I feel you, but if he has a better matchup and I can get him down in the block where now he could turn into the point guard with the guy with the ball in his hands on the block, that's better than him having the ball at the half-court line.
And if his best opportunity is having the ball down low, great. If they're dumb enough to make that the case, go right ahead.
Who, the Sixers?
No, the opposition.
Yeah, I think we are not going to set on an answer right here, right now. You are right. Not going to deny that one bit, and they know it. And that's the wonderful thing that we're hearing, is that they cannot allow the egos to get in front of what they have.
Everyone said the right thing so far.
They have. They have all said this right thing, and they're working out together in the gym, and I am buying every bit of what is being sold.
Slim Embiid. That's the thing that's giving me life right now. Slim Joel Embiid.
Jaylen Brown has put just oxygen in my lungs like I've never. I feel like I got IVs, running through the veins. I'm rejuvenated. I feel like I'm 25 again, Ray. All because of
younger than me.
All because of Jaylen Brown. If it wasn't because of him, none of this happens. But Jaylen Brown is the guy with a little chip on his shoulder too. Oh, they packed him up, chat. They packed him up, and now he's in South Philly.
He feels disrespected.
He does. The only other side of that conversation is this: the New York Knicks are being disrespected. That's not good.
Yeah, I saw Knicks Cavs Christmas on at the bar last night. They had NBA TV on, and it was just rolling the repeat. And they were down like 15 to the fourth, came back and won. I'm just sitting there like, wow, this sucks. I should have been able to predict this back in Christmas. Back on Christmas, the Knicks were going to win it all.
Oh, yeah, down by 29 in Game 3 of the NBA Final. You should have been predicting that. You're right.
They just know how to win. All right, coming up.
They are a champion. Don't disrespect them, please.
News at noon with Connor Thomas. After that, we will get to the voice memos on whether or not you would like to see the starters for the Philadelphia Eagles for 2 drives. We'll also update you on the Middays poll at 975 Middays on the old Bird app. Twitter if you want to go vote in it. Should the Eagles play their starters 2 series in the preseason game tomorrow? Sean Bray says yes. The rest of us say no. 610-632-0975. It's Brace and Dunne on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Practice turning to the game. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles wrapped up their joint practices with the Patriots yesterday. Bit of a tense day there. There were multiple scuffles. Ultimately, it seems like the Birds had the better day of the two teams. With Saquon Barkley talked about the physical nature of the sport and trying to stay in the focus zone.
That's going to happen after day two. You go back and watch film. I don't want to say competitive because it's not even that. It's just obviously football is just a physical game within itself, and we got to do a better job of also not allowing that to have a factor in our practice.
Well, they got another chance to get things right as they have the preseason game with New England tomorrow night at 7 p.m. The Phillies are back in action against the Cardinals tonight at 6:40. Braves won yesterday, so the Phils are 5 games back in the NL East, but on a 6-game win streak as Jesus Luzardo faces Hunter Dobbins. The Union traveled to Texas to face Austin FC tomorrow night at 8:30. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Don't miss Tim McManus of ESPN joining us at 1 o'clock for his wrap-up report on the joint practices. This update is brought to you by the McComb Group. Visit McCombGroup.com. The McComb Group supports contractors with one of the largest PVF inventories. From pipe, valve, and fittings to trusted brands, count on the McComb Group to help you stay on schedule. Visit McCombGroup.com today. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
What are these guys doing?
I ask myself that every day.
What's your weekend plans, brah?
I cannot wait. Going down to the Phils game tonight, and then post Phils, make my way to the shore.
Oh, lucky you.
Be nice. I'm counting my weekends.
What does that mean?
I just realized that it's going to end.
Oh,
It's going to end very soon with the shore. Labor Day, I'll be down. I'm hoping to be down again next weekend and then this weekend. But I get in that mood where it's like I'm not going to end up down here. I'm not going to end up having any weekends.
No.
In a matter of
that
between weddings and football season, both colliding this fall, I got nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing. My time is I'm booked basically from September 12th through whenever football season ends.
Yeah, I haven't played much golf, so I'm trying to play a little bit of golf this weekend, but don't have anything on the docket, my friend. Gonna hang.
Stay home.
Daughter's got a birthday party today. Big day for her. So I get to hang with the little man.
Oh, you're not going to the birthday party?
No, he's a lot as far as so.
Well, I didn't expect all four to go. I didn't know if you had
Correct.
birthday party duty or you were home duty.
Let mom and daughter go with all the moms and other daughters, and it's going to be a great time. It's a pool party, so I'm going to hang back with Lane and have a little Father Sunday, man.
Oh, watch little Jesus Luzardo tonight on the mounds.
He's nuts. He's so funny. He is so funny. He's walking. He's all over the place now, and if you put your head down for 1 second, he would literally be on the other side of the house and having cat food in his hand and a knife in the other. Like,
nice.
I'm telling you, like this kid gets into everything, but it's a lot of fun. Keeps you on your toes. Keeps you young, baby.
Connor, can I take one guess?
Yeah, absolutely.
Garage.
You know it.
Nice.
All right. Well, if I don't end up going down the shore tonight, which I can't imagine why I wouldn't. There's only one way I don't end up down the shore.
No.
If that's it, I indulge too much during the game.
Does this mean like you belly up at the bar by yourself
Yeah, pretty much.
and watch the Phils?
Yeah.
He downplays that. There's a crew.
Well, I don't tell them when I'm going. They just also go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like normally, if you're going to hang out with your friends, you text your friends, be like, "Hey, do you want to go to this bar?" For me, I just show up to the place where I know everyone else is going to be at, and I sit there and wait for them to. I'm the sun, and the universe of Garage revolves around as I just sit there in the middle, not interacting with.
Remember when we
anybody.
talked about egos?
He's
Just said
son.
the universe.
No, I was just using
That's what I got,
the
too.
model of the. Forget it.
No. Well, look, I totally am with you on what you just said there, Connor, and that's something that I told my wife a long time ago, and she knows about me. I love going to a bar and watching the games. Part of what you said, more so back in the day for me, a Pitcher's Pub. I was a Pitcher's Pub connoisseur for many years. Still am. Still represent Manny Young from time to time. Love my people down there. However, now my journey has taken me to Conshohocken, and I'm a boathouse guy. But the same thing, Connor. I go. I know there's going to be a couple people I know. I know the ice cold beer is going to be there. I also know the wings are going to be great if I'm hungry, and they're going to have the Phillies game on. That's what we love. We're very simple human beings.
Last night, a couple of high lifes, a burger, sat there. There wasn't even games on. I just wanted a little bit of peace and quiet.
Now, when I go to Manayunk, I'm a Cuddy's representative, and of course, down there on the canal side.
Of course. All right. Well, for Garage's MVP, he's got news at noon for us. And we got a new open, so I hear.
Ooh.
Yes, we do. Anthony from Paoli gives us this one.
It's the news at noon with Connor. It's not Ray Dunne anymore. I don't care what they say about them anyway. It's the news at noon, and that's that.
Yeah!
All right. All right.
I'm in on it. What do you guys think?
I dig it. I'll give you one of these. Little organ underneath there. Sure. I like it. Nice work. Any way we can get the people involved.
Produce a little bit more, dress it up a little bit. I'm in.
Oh. It's the news at noon with Connor Thomas.
I think Ray doesn't like the "It's not Ray Dunne anymore." The egos are coming out on Fridays.
I appreciate it. It's not Ray Dunne anymore.
No.
That's a fact. I just think we produce a little bit under it.
Okay. All right, we'll work on it. We're getting that all together. But
it was a cappella.
Yes, it was.
There you go.
Michael Porter Jr. is working on himself, apparently, and maybe not doing a great job because he talked recently on the Above the Rim show about the temptations of being a National Basketball Association player. You tell me if you guys agree with what he had to say.
You can't give any man millions of dollars, 5-star hotel room in the biggest and the nicest cities in the world with, women waiting in the lobby and people willing to do this for him and do that for him. You can't give nobody that and expect him to be a saint. Come on, man.
That's impossible.
Come on, man. You give the wisest man, Solomon, the wisest man in the world to ever exist. You gave him all the wisdom and all the riches, and he still was folding left and right. You know what I mean? Like, he still fell into temptation. Samson, strongest dude in the world, fell to temptation. David fell to temptation. Like, that's just, so you can't give nobody the whole world and expect them to just not fall. We're human, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand it. And putting everybody into that box, Michael Porter Jr., I think that's your number one mistake. Now, I am not a man with $40 million a year and a bank account completely loaded, and I've never had women waiting for me in the lobby. So I can't really speak from that perspective.
It's tough when they're waiting in the lobby, Sean.
Yeah, I would assume that's got to be fish in a barrel, I believe the saying is. But in the grand scheme of things, Michael Porter Jr., he lost me. He's perfect for this world that we are in right now with the Manosphere podcast realm. Like, this dude thinks he's the smartest guy. This guy, everything that they were saying about Jaylen Brown, this is what Michael Porter Jr. is. Smartest guy in the room.
Most obnoxious guy in the room, that's for sure.
Yeah, I remember a certain guy that signed with the Sixers that hasn't had that problem over the course of, 24 NBA seasons now?
Yeah.
Yep. It's not everybody.
Yeah, I don't think it's everybody. Like, I understand it. If at 19 I got drafted, I made that money coming out, and, like, I was told I was the chosen one left and right, and then, a couple years later I signed a $200 million contract where I'm making $40 million a year. I could understand having some type of way about me, and maybe I would fall to temptation and left and right here with that one. I never have to worry about that because there's not a lobby waiting for me. Like, I get it. He wants us to judge him based on the way we would react to the situation, but I also think I would realize that I have responsibilities with all of that. I think some guys forget the responsibility part of the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm folding like a cheap lawn chair if I'm ever put into that situation, but I'm not the world's best person, so I don't pretend that there's nobody that could handle that with a little bit more class.
People could handle things a lot better than me, I'm sure.
Oh, easily. He also said that he had to avoid 5 of his exes at Michael Rubin's all-white party over the 4th of July weekend.
That's just a brag.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 exes.
The most exclusive party in the world, you got 5 exes at? That's more a reflection on you, dude. I'm sorry. That's also the thing. Like, my friends will get on me like, oh, we can't go anywhere out running to someone. It's like, yeah, we can. It's just we frequent the same places. Like, that would be the issue.
Is he stiff-arming these girls?
Right. It's like, oh, you got 5 exes.
Yeah, it's a tough life. I can't go to the Victoria's Secret fashion show because I might see 3 of my ex-girlfriends. Yeah, everyone say a prayer for Michael Porter Jr.
I am a fan of his game, though, boys. I've always been a Michael Porter Jr. fan from Missouri, right?
Feel fact, yeah.
And then
on the court or off the court?
On the court.
Okay.
Now, his injuries were, of course, made you worry. But I remember that draft. I talked about it last week. That was a guy that I was like, please, Sixers, draft him. I know you draft plenty of injured guys, stash him away. That is the guy I want. I understand why they did not, but he's a hell of a player. Just saying that.
Temptation is a big thing, though, and he's clearly had his issues with that, as you can hear from that podcast clip. There's also gluttony, which we saw as an issue at Citi Field this week. Not from anybody in the stands, from an entity under the stands. We've got a raccoon living under the bleachers at Citi Field, and there was a video that went viral just yesterday about his little hand coming out through some hole. It was down field side. These are pretty good seats.
So good.
And there are peanut shells on the ground. He's sticking his little hand through a hole, grabbing the peanut shells and bringing them down. I remember back to before the Athletics moved out of the Coliseum to their temporary home in Sacramento. There was the, possum that was running around in the TV booth that people were getting upset about. That's the ultimate mark of you're having a loser season is when the animals take over the stadium.
No doubt about that. You got to dial up a raccoon exterminator for that raccoon removal. Some are saying that was just a gigantic rat. Would not surprise me.
I don't know, man.
No chance.
Have you boys ever been to Citi or Shea Field or Shea Stadium?
I haven't.
Only Citi, not Shea.
So you've been to Citi?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I like Citi.
The stadium itself is cool. It's huge. It's a monster.
The area around it.
That is correct.
Sucks.
It is the most ridiculous place that is. Now, they're changing things, don't get me wrong, but it is filled with nothing but car mechanic shops. That parts.
And the mechanic shops are on dirt roads.
Yeah, it's really bad.
You take one wrong turn, which I did in my 2002 Toyota Avalon, and you're going up and down through these dirt roads where it's like a dirt bike trail. I feel like the monster trucks, where they do the monster jam where they got to go up and down the whole thing.
You're a grave digger in your ride. Yeah.
Pretty much, and my car is not making it on the normal roads. Forget on the dirt roads that have these hills built into them. It was horrible up there. It's a disgrace. That's why the last time I went up there, last year when I went up in whatever it was, August, when the Phillies got swept up there, I took the train from wherever, went up there, caught the subway, did the 7 line, and I didn't want to deal with it. Now, led to the day being so much longer because I had to get from the city back to.
That's why when you asked the question yesterday about which game you should go
Right.
to, I checked D.C. Easily D.C.
DC's a fun park. Steve Cohen's busy paying his $60 million a year to watch Bo Bichette hit 190, so that's why you can't afford roads.
It takes forever to get there. Once you get into the tunnel, the Holland, then you got to go through the city to get all the way over to.
Right.
It's just absurd to get to a Met game when the Phillies are playing them.
But here's the issue with me on because I put up the poll. I'm debating on sneaking in a Phillies road trip by the end of the season.
I'll go to D.C. with you.
D.C. that Wednesday night is like. To get there, it's not as bad, like with the the whole way it's designed, but it's a longer trip, and I'm gonna probably drive it. City Field, I can at least enjoy a few and do the whole train thing that I figured out the last time, and I like City Field better than Nats Park. I think Nats Park is just knockoff CBP.
We could take a train down to D.C., can't we?
We could. I just don't know what the schedule would be, and it feels like an even later night.
Understood.
And I don't want to miss that last train because I don't want to be stuck in D.C.
I'll show sit for you. I got you covered if you need it.
Right.
We'll round out with this. I felt really old for a couple reasons this week. One was a retirement that happened.
How old did you
in the
feel?
NBA.
Let me ask you that.
I don't know. Just I'm probably my age, but I act younger than my age. I'm slightly immature, if you haven't noticed yet, through our first 4 shows and some change.
Yeah.
But this one's starting to hit me, right? The NBA player retires. You watch him your whole life. You're like, is that guy really that old? And for me, that was Russell Westbrook, who announced his retirement. And then a video came out of him at one of the camps he does, talking to a young camper. And it was one of those interactions like, damn, time really does fly.
Huh? Some days. I used to be back in the day, back in my young days.
Are you a real NBA player? Some days I used to be back in the day. From Russ, time needs to slow down, man.
It won't. Yeah, that hurts. I used to be back in the day. His retirement, by the way, are we just accepting that he was done or that he was not getting the opportunity and he was kind of pushed out?
I don't think he's done. I think he chose.
Yeah.
You think he chose?
I think so. He's not getting pushed out. It's Russ. He could easily get picked up in the middle of the season by somebody. 18 years. We know what he's capable of. Last year, he averaged 15 points per game, 64 games for the Sacramento Kings, and I think he's potentially still got that in his bag. It's Russ Westbrook, man.
Yeah, some guys get old and they start doing like the State Farm commercials with their twin brother Cliff Paul, and you start to notice the game looks a little bit different. Russ wasn't a guy that I ever felt like the athleticism wasn't there when he was playing. Like he can still just go coast to coast yam on somebody. Always has been.
Fair enough. Great job, Connor. One of the biggest things that I will always remember from the NBA world is the fact that the Oklahoma City Thunder did not win a championship with Durant, Harden, and Russell Westbrook. Now, I know they got to the finals, but the way it blew up, the way that they were able to draft all those players, bring those guys in, and not make it happen for a championship, you got to look back. Think about that.
Oh,
all 3 Hall of Famers, 2 of the greatest scorers the game has ever seen. Russ had a season that the game has never seen before, or very few have accomplished. You think about what they had in Oklahoma City, and for them to not be able to get a championship, that's got to sting. I think Sam Presti was the guy there, too. Yeah.
Kevin Durant's talked about it in the years since, saying that both he, being Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, the 3 of them, and Sam Presti were too young to realize what they had. And he felt like Presti jumped off the train of what they had too soon. All of them maybe didn't realize at the moment what they had. And he thinks that Sam Presti's now corrected that, looking at what they have now and what he's been able to build in the years since.
Yeah,
and then all of them kind of look back and say, man, we could have done something real special.
Experience will do that to you, sure. It's just one of those deals. Like you look at what all 3 of those greats. I would say the issue is that they had something in Harden, and correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they keep him at 6? And that was really what irked Harden more than anything?
Yeah, 6-man. I think he was a 6-man of the year that year they went to the finals.
James Harden ain't no 6-man.
No.
And the issue that I have is that you know darn well he's not. You know darn well that dude is prolific, even at that stage of his career, because you witnessed this guy day in, day out at practice, competing against everybody that's on your team. And you can't tell me James Harden wasn't carving him up. So how dare you have him coming off the bench? That's James Harden. Regardless, I understand the team's aspect. I get that. But that was the first mistake.
There was some good stuff out of Mike D'Antonio's Hall of Fame speech over the weekend about Harden, about like what Harden allowed in him and what he saw in Harden and their whole relationship. That if you want to go down that path of like, hey, Harden's development, pretty good. I would recommend going to listen, taking a listen back to that because it was good. Yeah, they had only 3 years. Crazy, only 3 years in Oklahoma City for Harden. He was 20, 21, 22, and then he goes to Houston, and obviously we know what happens there. He was also complaining, I saw on a podcast, or it came up on my feed, about Philly and how he took a pay cut and ended up only taking away, like, his swagger or something like that. I was like, dude, you had the opportunity to beat the Celtics, like, right in front of you.
Yeah.
You did not show up to Game 7, and you no-showed fourth quarter of Game 6.
Yeah.
What do you got?
The only thing I would say about, since you brought up the Hall of Fame, shout out to 2026 Hall of Famer Joey Crawford.
That's right.
Yep. Local cap.
He also had a good speech.
Yeah.
He listed off all of his accomplishments. He's like, as Muhammad Ali said, it's not bragging if you've done it, and I did it. And I was like, all right. Hell yeah for a referee.
Fair enough, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me at all, but you got to take pride in knowing what you're good at. And I did see that he said, you know what, I always loved basketball, but I knew I was going to be a good official. So credit to him, man.
A lot of good officials.
That's a get to know me. I should have put that down. I almost thought about being a professional umpire.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you go to the school?
I was this close to going to the school.
Give me the out call. Give me the strikeout.
No, I haven't been an umpire in years.
All right.
But started umpiring.
Never leaves you.
15.
Like riding a bike, some
16,
say.
17, 18, 19, 20. Then I moved to North Carolina and found that they got paid crazy money. And, oh, by the way, shock me, you got the timer. There's a timer in Little League and Teener League and some of the other games down in North Carolina that I didn't have in Pennsylvania where I was growing up umpiring. So now you're getting paid more money, and there was a game on a timer.
Oh, they only go 2 hours.
Correct.
Oh, that happens in PA now.
Yeah, we have that in Jersey,
Yeah,
too.
well, guys, I'm 100 years older than you. Yeah, back in my day.
Right. You
they
remember
didn't
he
have
had a PA AA state record for 20-plus years.
Yeah, I think
they were using sundials back then.
I think
What time is it?
I got to bump that down just a smidge. I was overstating how long it
Oh,
lasted.
okay. Well, that's why we cut it out of the fact anyways.
That was pointed out to me.
I mean this respectfully. Please don't take this the wrong way.
None.
You do have the umpire look. You look like an umpire.
Yeah, you gave me umpire vibes for sure.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did, because you're involved in the game.
You had the towel, too, I'd imagine.
Yeah, you got to have the towel.
Yeah, I figured as much.
How about the old school with the vest or the big, the big blocker? The thing that was left over at every Little League
Yep.
concession stand. I loved it, man.
I know someone that's actually wants to become a basketball referee. It might be in a family for it, so it helps. He knows the path forward to it. But yeah,
we have a lot of people in the area that are basketball referees.
Yes,
this is a big hotbed.
Part of one of those legendary. Yeah.
The only thing that pushed me the other way was the fact that it takes forever to get to AAA / Major Leagues. If you're lucky, and you don't make squat in single, double, or even AAA. AAA, I think they were making like 55.
I believe the book is Where Nobody Knows Your Name. It's a book about minor league baseball. And they follow an umpire around. Like one of the different characters in it is following an umpire that doesn't get the call. That's like on the last year before, and you feel for the guy. Like all those years you put in, and you don't get that call. And at that point, it's like, all right, you're kind of like the prospect that washes out. Like
staying at the Best Western all those days.
You're just not going to go to the bigs. It's crazy. I think I'll find the name of the book. You know me, my reading. I go down the shore for a weekend and I knock out a book.
But if you can make the majors, they get paid very well.
Yeah.
Give it to the show.
You get to stay in nice places.
You yell at Ricky Bo.
Yeah. Get to throw Ricky Bo out when he throws at Barry Bonds.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I want to get quickly to one voice memo before we hit the old, Jim. No, we'll get to the voice memo on the other side. I want to reset where we start here. Should the starters play in the preseason? We'll get to that coming up. Plus, the wide receiver room for the Philadelphia Eagles. ESPN ranking the wide receiver rooms across football. Where do the birds come in? And would it be a violation to take a certain wide receiver in your fantasy football draft? We'll get into all that coming up next. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunne. This is Brace and Dunne on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Who won practice? I'm Connor Thomas, and that's the question Eagles fans are asking as they wrapped up their joint practices with the Patriots yesterday. Bit of a tense day, multiple scuffles. Ultimately, it does seem like, per reports, the Birds had the better day of the two teams. Zach Berman of The Athletic joined Marks and Salciunas this morning, talked about his takeaways from the second day of joint practice.
Overall in practice, I think the Eagles showed some progress yesterday, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think that Patriots might have gotten like a slight edge overall. I think the key is the quality reps that you get and how that affects you for the season.
We're going to talk to Tim McManus of ESPN coming up at 1 o'clock, and we'll get his breakdown of what he saw up there in Foxborough, at least in the practices. They've still got the preseason game to get ready for. The Eagles face the Patriots tomorrow night at 7 p.m. The Phillies face the Cardinals starting tonight at 6:40 for a 3-game series. Lost the most recent series they had, the Cardinals, in St. Louis just about a week ago. With the Braves winning yesterday, the Phils are 5 games back in the NL East, so they got to continue to try and hold serve there. Jesus Luzardo faces Hunter Dobbins with a 6-game win streak on the line for the Fightins. The Union travel to Texas to face Austin FC tomorrow night at 8:30. You can hear that live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Verizon Business. Verizon Business experts love small businesses, so they come directly to you on your schedule. With real expertise tailored to your needs, make an appointment with a Verizon Business expert. Go to Verizon.com/book today. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Welcome back in. Brace and Dunne here on 97.5 The Fanatic alongside Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunne. Open up the show today. Ask you the big question. Should the starters play in the preseason?
I would
debate.
say no.
Thank you, Connor Thomas. A debate I thought was dead. I thought we had moved on as a society. We had taken on bigger questions, such as how do you grade a joint practice? And what do you make of winning the second day of joint practice? But no, we are diving back into playing the starters for a pair of series in the preseason. Second game up there in Foxborough. It's Eagles, it's Patriots coming your way tomorrow night. Sean Brace, you want to play the starters for 2 series.
That is correct.
Because you believe Sean Mannion's offense needs some time to get out there. And really, what's the worst that can happen, according to you, right?
Well, I understand what's at stake. Anything is possible, but these guys can get hurt in these training camps, split squad practices, as the Texans lost a wide receiver to an ACL. Bottom line is, I think that there is more to gain with the situation that Sean Mannion and his offense are currently in than there is to lose. I believe that wholeheartedly. I understand what I'm up against. I know I'm in the minority.
You're not.
But there are plenty of people out there that realize this offense, number one, was not good enough to say, we'll talk to you in September, come 13th on that Sunday against the Commanders. Also, Sean Mannion has told you multiple times that he is learning on the job. This is a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of experience that could help when September 13th comes around. That's all.
I told you you're part of the silent majority. And Twitter poll says exactly that. Would you like to see the offensive starters with Sean Mannion play 2 series on Saturday night? 56% of the vote said yes.
I'm hot right now, baby. I am hot. I'm sizzling.
That doesn't make you right. Just means that there's people that agree with you.
Yeah, but that makes me feel good.
I'm glad that makes you feel good.
Down my loins.
I did not realize. You want to put the readers on? Sean Brace and 56% of the audience short-sighted right now.
Do you have the right glasses today?
That's a good call. Yeah, my wife, she wasn't mad about that. So
that's good.
And something I didn't want to submit to evidence until we got to 12:30 because I wanted to have a real football conversation between the two of us about playing the starters for 2 series. Today, Sean Brace came in and talked about the risk of putting the guys out there. The guy managing risk for you is the same fella that on this program, albeit under a different name, about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, was suggesting that kids continue to play Little League games through Lightning. So I don't know if we want Sean Brace being the risk assessment manager of the Eagles playing their starters in the preseason when this guy said, hey, Little Leaguers, go out there. The lightning strikes are only 6 miles away.
Your Honor, I object. I object. He's.
What are you objecting to?
Well, it's not what I said. Because that makes me sound cold-hearted. Like, let them fry. No, that's not what I said.
Now up to bat, Timmy Thompson.
No. What it was that there were multiple games and a delay. And the only thing that I often bring it back to is my experience. Hey, as I said, I was a Little League umpire. So I was the guy in charge of like, you know what? Let's go. Timeout, delay, a little bit too much rain. Hey, you know what? Lightning bolt. Let's go ahead and let's take a little bit of a brief pause here. Now more than ever, and you're seeing this in the MLS, you're seeing this with this sport. Hell, the Eagles were delayed last year against the Cowboys.
I remember.
Due to lightning. I just feel like we can tell when it's getting close, and I think we're a little overcautious with the whole lightning nonsense. Now, Ray, Connor, I don't know if you know this about me. I can admit when I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. And I was off on that take. I learned a lot about science, what 8 miles the radius is about lightning, and why they are now cautious when it comes to that sort of world with the lightning and weather. So I am okay being wrong on that. I still think we're a little over the top, but I understand it. Okay, everybody wants to sue everybody, and there were some incidents over the past few years, so on and so forth. But I can admit when I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. The Eagles need to play the starters. You're seeing it around and on the offense, not on defense, on the offense. You are seeing it around the league. Brock Purdy just played last night. Josh Allen played. The Commanders are going to be playing. Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions are going to be playing their starters. Like, it's okay. guys, it's okay to play the starters for 2 series in a preseason game. They're not going to all of a sudden lose legs. Like, a bomb is not going to go off. Like, everything is going to be okay.
Oh, so all of a sudden it's turned into a bomb.
Well, I referenced Batman with the field falling out to start the show, so I figured I would switch it up.
Okay. Nice callback. I forgot. I was too busy locking into the fact that the readers were about to go on. And also, the absurdity of playing the starters, to me. I want to go check the voice memos here at the Davis Honda text line because we had the argument at the beginning of the show. We know how deep we can get into that argument. The two of us could sit here for 20 minutes and yell at each other. We're not going to accomplish anything. Let's go to the people at 610-632-0975. What say them?
Sean, Ray, Connor. This is Luke Arcana here from Crossing Broad. First of all, congratulations on the new show. Obviously, you guys are killing it. I cannot wait to see where this goes down the line. On the, playing the starters, I completely understand, wanting to see the flow with Sean Mannion because I think, it is a question mark, going into a new season with a new offensive coordinator with a whole new scheme. But I just don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth sending them out there risking injury. I think they've been an extremely successful team over the last 5 years sticking to this plan of not playing the starters, right? They've been a consistent elite threat in the NFL without doing this. I just don't think it's worth it in the long haul. But overall, I do see where there are some concerns, and you would like to see maybe just some sort of flow from the offense. But, overall, I just don't think it's worth it.
Hell yeah. It's a cautious take by Luke.
It's not worth it. The risk is not worth the reward. I don't think that all of a sudden Sean Mannion finds the flow of being a play caller because they played 2 series. I don't think this offense figures out what this offense is about through 2 series of a game.
Do you think he'll learn something if they did play 2 series?
I think he's going to learn something regardless. He's going up to the
That's not what I asked. That's not what I asked.
I think he's going to learn something regardless.
Would he learn more?
I don't think so.
How?
Because, man.
1%, maybe.
Well, then there you go.
The game plan is more vanilla than my face, man. All right? That game plan, they've told you it's non-existent. They've told you they're not going to do anything. They don't want the looks on tape. That is in this man's notes. He's told you that. He doesn't want to do anything that they're going to do in the season. Sean Mannion's up there like, all right. They've got the Herb from Northeast Philly playbook. Run, pass, run. Run, run, pass.
Yep.
That's what they've got going on. I can't believe I just referenced Herb in Northeast Philly talking about their preseason playbook, but that's what you're looking at.
No, you are going back to the old school Nintendo, just not even the Super Tecmo. It's just straight up Tecmo Bowl with I think like 13 teams and QB7 or QB12 for the Eagles, excuse me. But what I would say is that I understand and clearly, regardless of what the silent majority are trying to say in agreement with me, we know how Nick approaches this, and no one's going to change that. But I would be really interested to hear Sean Mannion's take on that because I guarantee he would rather have an opportunity to have 2 series with the starters because you're not going to get it in game 3, and then snapping the fingers, they're kicking off against the Commanders down in South Philly.
I just can't understand how the risk is worth the reward to you. I don't know what this prize is that you're seeking out from 2 possessions from the offense.
Well, hopefully it would be 10 to 15 plays. So it's 10 to 15 more plays of game action that my starters are getting, that Jalen Hurts is getting with those receivers that are brand new. Everybody's in a new offensive system. Drink, if you've heard that before. Like, there's plenty to gain.
Do you think Hurts needs it? You're the Club Hurts guy.
I do.
Shouldn't he be ready to roll?
I do. I think Jalen would tell you he would prefer to have it.
It's not the question.
Josh Allen, he's pretty good, right?
That's not the question.
Is Josh Allen good?
Does Jalen Hurts need it? Does Jalen Hurts need to show you what he could do in this offense in a preseason game?
I've never seen it before, so sure, I'd like to be. I'd like to learn a little something. I have no issues with saying
Where's the bouncer at?
You can't
get this guy to Objective Club Hurts.
You can't take. Can't take anything away from the guy. Everything he's accomplished. But I think it speaks volumes that you see a guy like Josh Allen out there. In the first preseason game. Now, he's got to be number 2. Get him in and out. He could get hurt. No, Josh Allen doesn't care. Brock Purdy. The guy's smaller than you, Ray. He could have took a hit.
And you had Brock Purdy higher than Jalen Hurts on your quarterback rank.
I did not. His career could have came to an end yesterday because he played in a preseason game.
This is the same walking, like you keep walking down the path of anything can happen, anyone get hurt anytime.
But that's what everyone says to me.
Nick Sirianni, through his time with the Philadelphia Eagles, 5 seasons, this guy, their games lost to injury, by the way, by the design of what he wants to do, has been lesser amongst all the football. I don't know if it's the least. It's amongst the least in football.
Okay.
They've got a method to the madness.
You're right about
this
that.
This is why they do what they do.
Well, the madness is they have to replace a new offense coordinator every single year, and now we're really changing it with a whole new offense.
And that's part of his shortcomings. The guy doesn't have his own offense. I'm perfectly fine with that. If you want to fire the guy after week 1 because Sean Mayton's offense looks so great, we'll be here to talk about it. I'm a Mannion guy. It's in my bio.
Joe checking in, Brace and Vanilla Face 10-2. Right here on 97.5
I like that.
The Fanatic.
That's pretty good.
We'll send it down to HR in Naples and see if we can get that through.
Yeah. Sometimes I just start talking. Is it good for us? Is it bad for us? Who knows? We'll get to that wide receiver conversation coming up next. Where the Eagles ranked, ESPN's position group rankings for the wide receiver. And also, Sean Brace says he's taking A.J. Brown in fantasy if he's there. How many Eagles fans are staying away from A.J. Brown in fantasy just out of pure spite? I'm curious to hear from the people out there on that one. 610-632-0975. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. This is Brace and Dunn, 97.5 The Fanatic. was trying to think of a way to segue from our off-air conversation to on-air. And you know what, Sean? I think I'm going to let that be.
That's fine.
I'm going to let that one lie there. Get it, 610-632-0975.
There you go. Always give out the phone numbers.
Yeah, there you go. You get in the Davis Honda text line. You feel the Davis difference at Davis Honda in Burlington. I got nothing for you. We're having a good time here. And someone we had a good time with from 10 to 2 for a good long time. Johnny Marks sent this over to us earlier today.
Yes, I did not
Wide
see
receiver rankings, according to ESPN. They went through all different position groups. If you had to guess, Connor Thomas, because you were not copied on this text, the position group rankings for the Philadelphia Eagles when it comes to wide receivers across the NFL, where would you have them from 1 to 32?
1 to 32, they would probably be right around 11 or 12.
Ooh, wrong.
Too high?
Too high.
Huh. Okay. So tell me they're in the top half.
No.
Tell me they're in the top 20.
No.
Tell me they're in the top 30.
Top 21 to be clear with you.
There you go.
21st in all of football, your Philadelphia Eagles. The list, Cincinnati, L.A., down to 18th is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 19th, the Kansas City Chiefs. 20th, the Arizona Cardinals. And 21st, the Philadelphia Eagles. And my question to you, is that a reflection on the view of Devontae Smith or the view of the depth that this team has?
It's not Devontae. No, it's definitely not Devontae. Because Devontae's a Heisman Trophy winner. Devontae, first-round pick. Everybody knows how good he is. This is about the depth. This is about who are you replacing A.J. Brown with. And now you are trying to find who it possibly could be. And I think you would have that answer if the starters were – I kid. I'm not going to go down that path. But I think that's where we're at, right? Who's replacing that type of production? Because – he put up serious numbers for, 4 seasons? Over 1,000 yards in all? Yeah, AJ is tough to replace, and I think that's what they're saying. But it comes back to depth. You sign a guy like Hollywood Brown. You want Dontavian Wicks to come in here and be that guy that he was not in Green Bay. Just the facts. And, yes, you are putting a lot of stock, a lot of your capital into a rookie wide receiver. Rookies have paid off. But unfortunately, Mekhi Lemon's dealing with a little bit of injury right now, so I think that's all encompassing. I think it all comes together.
All right. I mean, ultimately, it's all encompassing. I'm curious to hear your viewpoint on this first, Connor, before I dive into where I want to go with this. More a viewpoint of Devontae Smith or the depth here?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a viewpoint of the depth because if it's Devontae Smith, he's being wildly disrespected. He has one of the best resumes from hardware of any wide receiver of all time already. Talking about not just his NFL career, but college as well.
Yeah, if they did the Football Hall of Fame the way they did the Basketball Hall of Fame, where it's all-encompassing accolades. I hear what you're saying.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. Dontavian Wicks hasn't had a quarterback to play with his whole career, so that's tough. Mekhi Lemon's a rookie.
Sutton can relate. Yeah. All right. I want to dive into that then, because I don't say that it's disrespectful from us. I don't think it's us disrespecting Devontae Smith, but when you say it'd be very disrespectful of everyone else to Devontae Smith, you have to at least put a little bit of him into this ranking, because you look at the teams ahead of you. I mentioned the Cardinals. I mentioned the Chiefs. I didn't even mention the fact that the Giants are 12th in this. Like, look at their depth charts. Go to the Cardinals. Is their reflection of Marvin Harrison being the top guy? Like, are they getting bumped ahead of the Eagles because they have Michael Wilson, because they have Kendrick Bourne? Like, are those two guys so much better than Dontavian Wicks and Mekhi Lemon?
There's an unknown, though. That's the issue. At least you have some sort of, you can go back on what the Cardinals were. I get it. Marvin Harrison Jr. has not lived up to the hype, but there have been opportunities where he's been very snake-bitten, too. The guy got hit in the back of the head, warming up, concussion. Also, another injury took him out, but you know what he's capable of.
Don't you know what Devontae Smith's capable of?
Yes, but Wicks, and that's it. You're not going to sell me on Hollywood Brown.
Okay. You're not selling me on Michael Wilson or Kendrick Bourne. I like Marvin Harrison Jr.
I'm not going to sell you on the Cardinals, period.
I'm just looking at the ranking. I'm not telling you what you specifically rank. I'm not saying that you guys both think Devontae Smith sucks.
Understood.
And I'm not saying that this list is saying that, but I'm saying whether ranked 21st, we can complain about their depth all we want. you would think Devontae Smith would be enough to drag the Eagles up into the top half of wide receiver rooms across football.
As always, I have to ask this because it's about Philadelphia. They know what they need to do to get engagement.
Let's put that to the side.
No. Whose list is it?
It's somewhat on ESPN. I got.
Well, that's got to be a part of it. It always is. They know what they're doing. They want engagement in some small time of the calendar year. Yeah, throw an Eagle list together and have them at the bottom. Is that not outrageous to have them ranked there?
I think it's disrespectful. I don't know if it's outrageous. I mean, you said this week, we start off the show, the first big waves you made on the internet was saying that you were concerned about their wide receiver room. To not have them as a top half team in football shows that your concerns are a little bit larger. It's a national perspective, too.
Are valid.
Your concerns were always valid. Please stop listening to Eagles fan 426.9.
I'm not. I listened to Luke Arcaney, who told me I was down on the Eagles. I'm not. It's just where we're at, reality.
The Phillies.
It's interesting. On paper, you could look around the league and find a wide receiver room that is stacked a little bit more than the Philadelphia Eagles. I like Howie's vision. I need to see it, though. And I think that that's probably the general consensus around the league for a lot of people.
So let's do this real quick. Who's at 15?
15?
Yes.
Pull it back up.
If you can do that, because I want to know what the bar for a top half is.
Jacksonville.
I'm always going to be skeptical of lists.
Okay, they don't like Brian Thomas Jr. They almost tried to trade him this offseason. One of their wide receivers is also playing corner. Like, sure, there's talent down there, but you're telling me that that's a proven room?
I'm not telling you it's a proven room.
I'm not saying you, the royal you.
Yeah.
The you being ESPN, our great overlords there. Yeah, it's disrespectful. They should be a top half at least.
I just wonder if it's more reflection on whether or not they believe Devontae Smith can carry the weight or whether the guys around him are so much of a non-factor that it drags them down.
Two more. Where do they have New England?
New England's 9th.
That's funny.
A.J. Brown.
Yeah. Romeo Dobbs.
Keyshawn Booty everywhere.
I like that.
I mean, he's a wide receiver 3 now, right?
Don't forget Matt Collins.
Oh, God. Yeah, that should drag him down to 31st.
Yeah, right.
All right. You mentioned being down on the Eagles. I know a guy that's always down on the Eagles, and I know he's going to be just...
I thought we lost him in the divorce.
Apparently, we're sharing custody of Mosher, BLG, and Mad Mike. Here's Mad Mike for you, Sean Brace. How are you today, Mad Mike?
Hey, I'm good after these practices exposed how bad the Eagles are going to be this year, especially that fraud idiot Jalen Hurts who's throwing interceptions to Patriots.
Did you go under your rock yesterday? They won the practice, Mad Mike.
Sure they did.
Well, wait, you believe they lost the first one?
Getting bulldozed by Milton, by our former D tackle.
Milton Hershey?
Milton Williams is pretty good.
The whole team stinks. They stink out loud.
Time out. You didn't answer
We already got lemon lawed on our wide receiver.
You used that last week.
Come on, new content.
Yeah, new material. But hang on, you didn't answer Ray's question because I think it's the proper way to put it. You're celebrating after game one or day one of practice when they lost. Well, everyone said they won yesterday, so you got to play it the right way, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they really won yesterday. Like they're trying to salvage whatever they can. I'm sure whatever idiot Philadelphia sycophant that's saying they won is like, oh, don't.
No, not the fans. The people that were covering the practice. Because the fans probably didn't think they lost the first one.
Yeah, well, we're going to see how bad these guys stink this year. Club Hurts is getting shut down, and then I'm going to have Sean Brace is going to join my side, and he's going to be like, Mad Mike was right.
There is no way throughout the course
I can't wait till you have to come on the radio and say he was a fraud coattail rider. And you know what? That other, Dante, he's a scrawny little chicken leg wide receiver who's not going to be a number one either.
Anything you like about the Eagles this year?
Yeah, the kicker.
All right, well, that's enough.
Get out of here. Work on your material, Mad Mike. Give me something new.
I mean, the lemon law thing was only the second time.
And then he stumbled with the small legs and stepped all over that.
It's all right.
Well, I do know this.
It's a lot of pressure.
Tim McManus was there. Tim McManus is a guy I trust. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say, Ray.
That's good. We'll ask him about winning the practice. That'll be my first question. I'm not kidding. I'm asking about winning the practice. What was the biggest difference from day one to day two? I could guarantee that's the first question. You better come up with something different for the second one, all right? Tim McManus of ESPN. Timmy Mack. We got to share custody of him in the divorce. He's coming up next. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunne. Brace and Dunne, 97.5. Race and Dunne here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Our 1 o'clock hour brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, and so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration Championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com. Call 610-831-HAIR. A lot made about my hair this week. I had a couple people like, did you get a new cut for the new show? I was like, no, it's the same hair that I've had. I don't know if the angle's different, maybe here versus over there.
Maybe.
I've got a couple of hair comments this week.
Lighting could be a little different. That always has an effect.
Dude, the lighting they tried to put on me, the promo video I put out, walking the streets, I don't know what Dutzy did to it. It made me look like Casper the Ghost.
The streets of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I was walking right down near where I live. Maybe I'm not going to throw out the street there, but yeah, you know. We got Tim McManus coming up in a second here as we break down what happened up there for joint practices, what he's looking for tomorrow. Sean Brace, I know you're dying to see the backup offensive line in action. That's your biggest thing you're looking for tomorrow. Lampkin's your favorite player. You're about to get a jersey.
Markel Bell's got my attention.
Got
Why
your
not?
attention.
I think he was the biggest guy in the NFL draft, right? What a monster of a human being. Yeah, sure. The offensive line. I can give you reasons to watch Saturday night without the starters being involved.
Yeah, that we have to be on there at 10 o'clock on Monday talking about it.
That's fair.
Yeah. No, I got reasons to watch, too.
Well, one was already settled, and I am going to be taken care of as far as 2 six-packs are concerned because A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts already dapped up.
And they dapped up at that joint practice where Tim McManus was. We saw the picture from him. Tim McManus of ESPN joins us right now, and I got to say, I was worried. I said, Tim's going in the mornings. They're going to have him. I was like, no, please don't take Tim McManus from me football season. To have him at 1 o'clock on Fridays, a big win for us in football season. Tim, how are you?
Timmy!
Hey, I would never leave you, pal.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I was so worried. I was like, don't take Tim from me. I have one guarantee in this life, Tim McManus, was 1 o'clock Fridays during football season. I talked to you. That's all I've had over the last couple of years.
My brother, we're keeping that tradition alive. Very happy to be on this show. Congrats on the new gig, guys. Very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you
Tim.
very much.
Means a lot, man. Thank you.
All right, I want to take you up to joint practices up there in Foxborough. The biggest difference for you from day 1 to day 2, because day 1 reported they lost. Day 2 reported they won. What was the biggest difference over those 24 hours for the Eagles?
The defense. The defense was much better for the Eagles on day 2. You know, the ball, when Drake May was tossing it around, hardly hit the ground on day 1. And I think the defense probably took that as a little bit of a challenge. You saw actually right before, so the visiting team, the way they have it set up at Foxborough, is on like a lower field, and you have to like climb a hill to get to the main field where the Patriots are hanging out. And right before they climbed that hill, the defense was all gathered together in a circle and like hyping each other up and like chanting, which we didn't see on the first day. You could tell that they were getting hyped, and they definitely showed up. Like Reek Woolen in particular showed up. A.J. Brown really had his way the first day, but Woolen did a pretty good job on him on day 2, including a pick 6 on a throw from Drake May to A.J. Brown in the corner of the end zone that Woolen steps in front of, grabs it, and then goes the other way to really ignite the defense. So if we're talking about big changes between the first 2 days, Vic Fangio's squad's the reason for it.
Let's go offensively. From what you saw of that Eagles offense, day 1, a lot was made of the turnovers. Day 2, what did the Eagles look like, and what did you take away the most from watching 48 hours of the Eagles offense against a defense like the Patriots?
I thought that they took a step back offensively day 2. So people have been like, who won these ones? And now the first one was definitely the Patriots. I agree with that. I think New England took the first one, and everybody's declaring victory for the Eagles for day 2. I didn't really see it that way. I thought it was more of a draw on day 2 because I think the defense won their part of it, but the offense did not. And the difference between those 2 days was the first day they really focused on running the football, and I thought that they were dynamite doing that. The ground game looks good. You know, they have a new wide zone scheme that they're still figuring out some wrinkles, but when it hits pretty big. You know, we've seen some big holes over the course of the summer, and that was true in training camp without the Patriots, and then during these joint practices, that when they sync it up right, there are some lanes for Saquon Barkley to move through, and he's moving really well. And I think that's very encouraging. If the ground game goes, so goes this team, so goes this offense. So that's a really big takeaway from their time up in New England. The ground game is starting to click into gear. The passing game needs some work, boys. The passing game is not quite there yet. We've seen it was 5 interceptions from Jalen Hurts, not all his fault, but 5 interceptions over 2 days. And he threw, I don't know, probably about 5 or 6 over the other training camp practices. So we're talking about right around double-digit interceptions for Hurts, which is fine. You're testing a new offense. You want that kind of stuff to happen. And, of course, they're not operating with Devontae Smith and Mekhi Lemon yet, right? So got to give them some grace there. But I would say that the running game is ahead of the passing game right now.
Tim, let me ask you about playing the starters for 2 series on Saturday night in the second and probably the final preseason game. And I understand how Nick's approach is, Coach Sirianni's approach is, and it's worked. They're 1-0 in the opening weeks, all that. But this is something different this year with Sean Mannion learning on the fly, getting that experience as the game is going on. So I'm a little worried about, hey, we'll pick this up on September 13th against the Commanders down in South Philly when you have an opportunity to get 10 to 15 snaps with the first teamers when he's up there on Saturday night in New England. Also, you look around the league, Brock Purdy playing, Josh Allen playing. I can go down the list. The Lions are playing their starters. The Commanders are playing their starters. So, I'm not asking for something that is not happening anywhere else. I just think right now the argument for these guys to get a little seasoning, to get an opportunity to play together would be beneficial than not. Where do you stand on that conversation? And also, what would the players say? Do they want to play or no?
That's probably like player to player type thing. Just like you heard Saquon Barkley being like, I hate joint practices.
Yeah.
He said that yesterday. I know the other players be like, I really like it. I get a lot out of it. I think you would probably get a mixed reaction from the players themselves. But if there is a year to do it, I certainly understand the argument that this is the year, Sean, because they are breaking in a brand new offense. And people have long talked about the number of different coordinators that Hurts has had since he's been here. But as Vic Fangio kind of bluntly put it about a week ago, the offense was basically the same during that time. Now it's a lot different. A lot of the schematic stuff was really the same that they were going despite changes in offensive coordinators. But this is totally going in a new direction, and they need time on task. I don't think there's any question about that. And of course, they've been going up against the Eagles defense and they're showing some specific looks, but you're going to be testing this offense against all sorts of different systems and operations over the course of the regular season. And Jalen Hurts and the rest of the guys are going to have to troubleshoot in real time. And it would be nice to have sort of that live action against a different team to start that problem solving process. Will they do it? Probably not. I mean, they did get a ton of work over the last 2 days. Wasn't exclusively first team, but there's a ton of first team reps. I'm sure that they're like, all right, we got out relatively healthy. Let's count our blessings and move on. And that has worked for them. Going in healthy to the start of a season has been really big for this franchise. Really tough to argue against. But yeah, if there is a year to do it, Sean, this is it.
We're talking to Tim McManus of ESPN. You talk about health there, the health of the offensive line, big talking point this offseason as to what this team needs going into next year. What have you seen from the group up front, not just the starting guys, but, for us, intrigue over the weekend, if they're not going to play starters, would be some of the depth there at the offensive line. What have you made of the entire group and certainly the health of those top guys after a season in which a lot of them weren't healthy?
Yeah, the offensive line in much better shape than this time a year ago. Cam Jurgens looks really good. I think that's a positive. Anytime you're dealing with a back injury, you worry about those things lingering. That's just in life, especially as a football player. But right now, he looks good. Landon Dickerson, to me, does not look quite as good. I am a little worried about him holding up over the course of 17 games plus. I just am. But the rest of the guys, I think, are looking good and looking healthy. And there's been conversation unprompted from people inside the organization that are like, hey, Tyler Steen looks really good. So I think there's going to be some growth there. Overall, they're in some pretty good shape. And I also see some depth developing behind the main five. People inside the building are starting to rave a little bit about Willie Lampkin. Willie Lampkin is not just the media darling. He's also becoming a bit of a darling internally. So I expect him to make the team. And obviously they don't want him on the field because that would mean somebody's getting hurt. But I think that there's a trust growing. And maybe they even get creative and find ways to get Lampkin on the field. He's a guy that can move, can get out in space, use his leverage to pop some people and open some holes. I think you can use Willie Lampkin in some creative ways. So I'm kind of excited about that, about watching that. And Markel Bell has been a really nice story. He's been their best rookie, period. Hasn't even really been close. He's been the primary backup for Lane Johnson. We know that Johnson's been dealing with some injuries. And so, not this year, but, he's coming off the list, Frank. So if he has to step in, I think what he's showing right now is that, this is a guy that's pretty capable of playing football. So, and Drew Kendall's also been pretty good. So they have some depth growing at that offensive line.
Yeah, Lampkin made quite a stir with that block against the Ravens in that first preseason game. And then the quote that came out yesterday from Jordan Davis, he's a bowling ball full of knives. I love it. We were trying to figure out what he meant, but that was great stuff there. Staying on or over to the defensive side of the ball, a concern? I had concerns about the wide receiver room, and now I have concerns about who's getting after the quarterback, Tim McManus, Jonathan Grenard, of course, the injury. We heard Vic Fangio say that, look, it could be quite some time till he's back out there. What's the latest as far as with Grenard and his health? And then the second part is if there's going to be someone that is a little under the radar, whether it's a Jomo or a Jalix Hunt, if those guys qualify under the radar, who do you see being able to, the task at hand, getting after the quarterback and getting home with a sack?
Yeah, it's really nice having a truth teller at the podium with Vic Fangio, right? It's like, he's not going to be, I am worried about that. I don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. So it helps sort of set the stage and expectations publicly of, you're probably not going to have him, right? I mean, it seems like he is, setting that expectation that there's a good chance that Grenard is either not going to be on the field week 1 against the Commanders or is going to be there certainly in a limited capacity if he is on the field. And that means more falls on the starters, number 1, without him. And so that's Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt. And I can report that both are looking good. Smith, I thought, was having a quiet summer, but over the last week, I would say he has ramped up his physicality and the way that he is attacking on the edge. And so that's an encouraging sign. And I would probably say that Jalix Hunt has been the best defensive player over the course of the summer. I think he's been outstanding. And that continued in those joint practices, which was good to see. He had one of the big highlights over those 2 days. It came yesterday where Reek Woolen was able to knock loose the ball from A.J. Brown as Brown was going over the middle, and then Hunt has this diving interception. And you forget that he was the sacks and interceptions leader for the Eagles last year, and physically he looks great. I feel like he's really filling out his body even more, and I think that he's going to have a really big campaign. As far as a sleeper, I would probably go A.J. Epinesa. He's had some really good snaps over the course of this entire summer, and he's learning really to drop for the first time. So that's going to be a learning process for him. But I like what I've seen out of Epinesa.
I'm going to flip back to the offense. I'm sorry, we keep going back different sides of the field with you here, Tim McManus, but I'm just curious. We were kicking around the idea of a Stowers hour at some point this year, and so far it has not been a stock up report for Eli Stowers. But when you look down on the depth chart of pass catchers, he fits in there as someone that maybe doesn't have a role at the beginning, but you hope would have a role by the end of the season. What have you made of his development and of the guys that aren't Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and Dontavian Wicks? Who do you see as being someone that could emerge from that pack to be an impact player for this team this season?
You might have to slow play the Stowers hour for now.
Oh, man. Stupid segment idea anyways.
I like the idea, just the production hasn't quite been there yet for Stowers. And I think that's a little disappointing for people who viewed him as, all right, well, maybe he can get out there and be a difference maker, at least as a pass catcher initially, be a matchup problem for linebackers and safeties. And to this point, it just hasn't really revealed itself. And it's kind of complicated because Mannion talked about the fact, and I think it's especially true in this system, that you need a tight end that can do both. And right now, blocking, and everybody knew that sort of coming out, that wasn't his forte, but it's just not there yet. And you saw that they tested him, put him out there the first snap of that preseason game last week, which is kind of against what we've seen. He hasn't really been running with the second team like that, but they put him right out there, and he draws, he holds. And so that's, that was a problem. He's working, man. I mean, and people shouldn't give up on somebody like Stowers, who from what I understand, is wired in a very good way, where he, if he has a deficiency, he's gonna work his tail off to make sure that gets cured. But it's gonna take time. So I'm not expecting anything out of him for at least the first handful of games, maybe more. And I think that in terms of somebody that could come out and add production, if Elijah Moore makes this team, it's very clear that Jalen Hurts has a comfort level with him and has gone to him in some key practice moments, I guess you could say, And one of the big highlights from the joint practices with the Patriots is when Hurts found more deep down the sideline, contested catch. Kevin Byard is right in his face, and he's able to come up with just I think the Eagles actually posted that one, just a beauty of a catch down there. So, I wouldn't count Elijah Moore out for making this team.
All right, Tim, last one from me here. Let's get TMZ with it. And, of course, you've been around the block for a long time. Pretty big fanfare and reporting around A.J. Brown and his split squad practice. Of course, Jalen Hurts and the history there. What was your takeaway of the reunion that took place, the quick dap and bro hug? And I saw you have a picture/video from afar. I felt it was genuine. I'm happy. I think we could put this behind us. But you were there. There was a lot of hype, a lot of buildup. What was your takeaway?
So the first thing that struck me was when Brown said that he hadn't spoken to Hurts since the trade, June 1. I think of it more from like a human perspective, Sean, where it makes me sad. It makes me sad that that these guys were really tight going all the way back to when Hurts was trying to recruit Brown to come to Alabama. They got really tight from there. They would work out all the time during the off seasons together. They were close enough to where Brown asked Hurts to be the godfather of his daughter. That's a big deal.
Big deal.
And when they first got together here in Philadelphia, like there was a close connection between the two of them. And obviously, it's a different thing from being friends with somebody and tight with somebody and then working in that pressure-packed environment. And obviously, they grew apart, during that time. That became very obvious. I mean, and Brown essentially asked for a trade out of there. So that's like sad to me. So I thought it was, I felt good about the fact that they were able to spend, it was only probably 30 seconds, whatever it was, but at least, they were able to sit there and smile and, shake each other's hand and have that moment. And hopefully that means like a bit of a coming together for those two after an obvious rift here in Philadelphia. So, I hope that's the case.
Well said.
Yeah. The human thing, like Sean Bray said I could be the godfather to his son and then took that away from me, and we haven't been the same ever since. It's been tough, Tim.
That is tough. That's a tough way to start a radio show together, too.
Oh, it's been tough. We've been trying to work through that riff for a while.
Zero context, but that's fine. That's fine. I'll let Ray go.
Sure. Tim, we'll fill you in on it at some point on our 1 o'clock hits. We look forward to having you every single week. We appreciate you making the time for us.
All right, guys. Can't wait.
You're the best. Thank you, Timmy.
Tim McManus of ESPN. He can put together. He knows the two of us well enough. He'll be able to fill in the lines there.
I think as a show, we're all the same page on it. I think we're all in agreement with what Tim said. From a human perspective first, it's great to see those guys getting together, and now we can move on.
Yeah.
Can
you move on?
That's
the thing.
Oh, I can.
Can you, though?
Oh, I absolutely can.
You're telling me, week 1, A.J. Brown, over the top. Drake May puts it right in the breadbasket. It slips through his hands. We're not laughing about it?
I am.
Well, yeah, that's fine, but that's putting it I'll tell you where
so
I'm
you're putting their beef behind you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to say, you're not putting A.J. Brown behind you because there's been a lot of people over the last week that have been like, all right, now, or over the last 24 hours, too, if we can put this behind us. We will keep tabs on A.J. Brown like nobody's business.
I hope to keep tabs on him even more so.
Okay.
Because I want him on my fantasy team.
All right, so that's also it.
Yeah.
You're going to pick him in fantasy. I'm not against it. I just know that there'll be Eagles fans that are like, I don't draft Cowboys. Eagles fan, I think this year is like, I'm not going to touch A.J. Brown. He's right now wide receiver 9 at ESPN's PPR rankings. You picking him, Connor?
I would not.
Really?
But I also have C.D. Lamb in a keepers league, so maybe I'm a hypocrite there.
Yeah, well, Ray's in 100 leagues.
Okay, but you're not picking him for the Eagles' purpose?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was like, actually, I don't think Drake May's that good.
No. I would not pick A.J. Brown because I wouldn't want to. I like having a little bit of hatred because I don't have it for a lot of people. So when I do, I like to steer into it a little bit more, and I do for A.J. Brown. So, let's enjoy a year of not liking number 1.
Did you pick up, though? He said he's got C.D. Lamb. This guy. He's got C.D. Lamb.
You don't draft Cowboys?
Wait, Dak Prescott, your quarterback?
No, Matt Stafford.
Is Schottenheimer your coach?
We don't draft coaches.
All right.
I'm my own coach here.
Here's where I'm at with A.J. Brown. The discussion was this because he was dropping in ADP. Now it's bumping up, especially after the last 48 hours where he was the best player on the field. I trust my eyes. Everything that I saw, woo, yeah, he's ready for a big season. And it means you can understand why. It's his first year. Everything's going to be, it's the honeymoon period.
Correct.
So I think A.J. Brown, you would be foolish not to take him if you're in it to win it. But I do believe that there is a discussion between him and Devontae, though.
Yeah, so you put this poll up on. So there's a couple of branches of this one.
Okay.
One, as an Eagles fan, are you taking A.J. Brown in fantasy 610-632-0975? I'm curious on that. Two, would you rather Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown on your fantasy team? And I would go A.J. Brown over Devontae.
And I think that the majority of people would agree with that. However, first of all, the poll that I put up last night just ended. I had to make it end. So
No longer
not open.
It's not standing tall?
No, it's not.
Got to call Dr. Avion Appel?
How about 50%? 50.3 A.J. Brown over 49.7 for Devontae. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's just poetry right there.
If you did that poll in Pittsburgh.
Understood.
It's A.J. Brown heavy.
Yeah.
It is. And and it probably should be.
Which goes to the first question of the two.
But Matthew Berry, he picks one player every year that is the fantasy football expert. It's been doing it for years, boys. Decades, Matthew Berry. He has a ride or die player. This year, his ride or die player is Devontae Smith.
All right.
Ooh, I like it.
Let's call Matthew Berry up.
I will try and get Matthew Berry on the show next week. He's been on the shows before.
Yeah. All right. Let's give him a call. See if we can get him. Dive into Devontae Smith and what else he's buying for the Eagles this year.
I'll tweet out his article and the case. He listed a couple players, and he chose Devontae over all of them, and I think he makes a great case for Devontae Smith to have a monster season.
All right, before we look ahead to next week, we got to look back at this week. All right, our first week is a show, and we are going to debut a brand new segment. That's maybe an old segment, but a brand new segment coming up next. We call it the Last Week Report. What happened this week that maybe we didn't anticipate or didn't want to happen? We make mistakes, and we have to be honest about that. Our best mistakes of the week, the best of the worst, coming up next here on Brace and Dunne, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Back to game action. I'm Connor Thomas, and that's what both the Phillies and the Eagles have as the Eagles wrapped up their joint practices with the Patriots yesterday. Bit of a tense day. There were multiple scuffles. Ultimately, seems like the Birds had the better day of the two teams. Zach Berman of The Athletic joined Marks and Salciunas. He talked about what the Eagles got out of the joint practices in their time up in New England.
Overall in practice, I think the Eagles showed some progress yesterday, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think that Patriots might have gotten like a slight edge overall. I think the key is the quality reps that you get and how that affects you for the season.
But with that wrapped up, now it's on to the actual preseason game that they have with the Patriots. That's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. up there in New England. The Phillies are back on the field after having the night off last night. They'll face the Cardinals for game one of that series, 6:40 this evening from the bank. The Braves won yesterday, so the Phils are 5 games back in the NL East. Jesus Luzardo faces Hunter Dobbins in the pitching matchup. The Union traveled to Texas to face Austin FC tomorrow night at 8:30. You can hear that live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Verizon Business. Verizon Business experts love small businesses, so they come directly to you on your schedule with real expertise tailored to your needs. Make an appointment with a Verizon Business expert. Go to Verizon.com/book today. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic, and the
Brace and Dunne, 97.5, The Fanatic. We got a half hour left in our week.
Hey now.
And with that, we want to unveil something new. It's an idea that I've always really wanted to put into practice. And it's off of the idea of the last 2-minute report in the NBA.
Yes.
Because the last 2-minute report in the NBA, they're allowed to say they screwed up, and nobody really gets in trouble. You know, like people keep their jobs, we get upset for it, and then nothing else happens. So the idea that you're able to admit that you made a mistake and nothing's going to happen to you appeals to me, because we made plenty of mistakes this week. And for the first time...
Wait, you have?
Yeah. This guy doesn't allow to make a mistake because his biggest take this week is I want the quarterback to get crushed in a preseason game tomorrow.
Jalen Hurts doesn't need legs anyway.
Yeah. Let's review the tape on what we said this week and see who made more mistakes. Sean Brace.
Love it.
Oh, by the way, here's our new segment, the Last Week Report.
After further review, we have some explaining to do. Every week, Brace and Dunne says a lot of things. Some good, some bad, some that should never have made the air. So, just like the NBA reviews the final 2 minutes, we're reviewing the tape. The evidence has been submitted. The clips have been reviewed. This is the Brace and Dunne Last Week Report.
Just ripped. Oh, yes. Chiseled. Last Week Report kicks off with a little take on Jaylen Brown. One more time, Connor Thomas, fire that up. Just ripped. He is chiseled.
Well, he was.
Yeah, I don't know. You look at that.
Tamed by you.
You look at that image.
Yeah, he's ripped.
Now, people might be thinking that I said that about Connor, but I did not.
Could be
You
me.
did. You did actually say that about Connor.
Me and JB,
about an
same
hour
guy.
ago.
He's yoked.
All right, let's relax over there.
Future finals MVP. Oh, me relax? How about you relax with this?
Come on, how do you not feel that way after watching them work out this week? Give me that one more time.
Is that a turkey call? Is
That
that what that
sounded
was?
like it. Lucky it's not Thanksgiving.
Eagles got a game on Thanksgiving, correct?
That's right, 4:30.
We're playing Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
Yeah, just talking
Christmas.
about that with the family.
Oh, yeah.
Nice knowing him.
Were you talking about this with the family?
Sometimes he goes for the grab, and the grab you're terrified of. I was talking about Dave Leno doing a high five after a goal call for the Union. I remember the context of that.
I didn't know if you were talking about the guy running around downtown dressed as Chucky or
It
not.
seems like he's going for the grab, too.
Yeah.
According to that girl at 6ABC, though, he doesn't have his priorities in check. I'm shocked a guy in a Chucky mask doesn't have his priorities in check.
You know,
I thought that guy was well off.
He was grabbing people at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Could you imagine you're trying to go to work, it's 5 a.m., and all of a sudden this Chucky doll is chasing you down?
Starts the week I get off the morning show? Was I protecting the city from this man?
Certainly not.
Well, we know it wasn't me. All right, we'll move on. This was me. I'm not rubbing anybody anyway.
What was the context?
Yeah.
That was the shirtless in the gym conversation about rubbing people the wrong way. And
You're not rubbing anyone.
So
I'm not.
You did go shirtless yesterday.
I took it off for the picture
Okay.
that I sent you guys.
Oh, so
It was
you just took off your shirt to send a picture to us?
Yeah, it's all for the bit.
That
I
is
might have done like one lift.
That's a hell of a gym, too, inside your apartment complex, Connor.
Oh, he's
It's
moving into
nice,
a
right?
nice spot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right. Is the housewarming party coming soon?
I'll let you know once I get my stuff. Bed's getting delivered today, and that's actually currently going on.
Nice.
And, then we'll figure everything else out from there.
All right.
T.O. needs his bed delivered ASAP because...
What is my message to the Eagles fans?
that's
love
AJ.
you.
Oh,
That's
never
her.
mind. Jumping on that. AJ, never mind. We'll throw this in next week.
Yep.
Let's hit that again since I stepped on that one a little bit.
What is my message to the Eagles fans? I love you.
I love you. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's very nice of him.
And then he said, I don't want to be answering any more questions later. No, I'm good on that. Yeah, when it comes down to it, he's got love for Eagles fans.
AJ Brown, someone that tells you they love you, then quits on you. Anyone been there before?
Uh-huh.
Oops, among us. All right, we'll move on here.
No, I couldn't even get it up. Oh.
Sean.
Oh, whoa. Now,
Sean.
wait a minute.
I heard we got a new sponsor of the program, Sean. Is that true?
Blue Chews are back, baby. No,
Yes.
I couldn't even get it up. Oh, come on.
And why is Blue Chew back, Connor?
No, I couldn't even get it up. I've
Oh.
never had an issue, boys. Never.
Thanks to your good friends Blue Chew.
That's right.
That are on board because
For your mind, your body, and your soul. I couldn't even get it up. The hell did I even say that? I don't even know.
No idea.
We do 20 hours of programming. I have no idea. No.
It was Wednesday. That middle of the week zone, it's kind of a reverse bell curve where we remember the least from right in there.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, who knows? I remember the start of this, though. I'll just remind people this is a segment.
This is Live, Laugh, LeBron.
Oh, beautiful.
I think we have something there. He does post like a 14-year-old boy, and I will stand by that. Love LeBron. Love him. Love him. He sends a lot of messages out there on the Instagram stories that are very positive.
Yeah, uplifting.
Live, Laugh, LeBron is a segment we rolled out this week. It's not an every week segment, but I promise you it will be back.
We should get a T-shirt made.
Live, Laugh, LeBron. All right, and put it on the 97.5 The Fanatic store.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm in.
That'd be good. And the little the script, like the swirly script that you see on those things. That's great. We also had some intriguing guests and people who joined us on the phone lines, including...
What? You follow him, you'll be on welfare.
Our guy Joey Merlino and stuff.
It took 3 days for me to forget that Joey Merlino was on the program.
Joey Merlino and Snuff. Snuff called in, and that got a lot of buzz on the timeline. So many people saw me that night because I ended up going out that night, and they're like, dude, Merlino and Snuff. Snuff is very popular, and, of course, Merlino, it goes without saying.
Yeah.
But
people know of him.
Hey, and then the best part was at the end that we didn't include because we had to get rid of it. But, yeah, text me next week.
Yeah, because
We'll
the
mess
FCC
around.
won't let me be on this one.
There you go.
All right, this is not great for me. I'll admit that before we even play it.
So to
I'm
be
the
clear,
Henry Ford of taking my shirt off.
Henry Ford of taking
Henry
my shirt
Ford.
off.
That's a hell of a take.
It was better than what Ray had to do in high school with his pole vaulting career.
So you are one of these guys that gets the pole and you run down and hit the hole.
I lasted 1 day. Why? Because I stunk at it.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I lasted 1 day.
Pretty good.
That is a long
Ringing
time.
endorsement right there. I'll be honest with you. I'm dumb. All right.
That's perfect.
I could also get behind that.
Yes, that's perfect. Wait, back to this pole vaulting deal.
Yeah. The pole, you stick it in the hole. Yeah, that.
That's amazing. Just hitting the hole, not
Yeah.
even getting over the bar is...
Well, the goal is to hit the hole.
So you are one of these guys that gets the pole and you run down and hit the hole. Good grief. I'm trying to paint the picture, and I think I was
Oh, you painting a picture, that's for
a
sure.
little too in-depth there if I had to go back and check the tape,
Yeah, no, that picture shows up at an art museum for sure.
Good grief.
The crazy thing is, like, our first day had the top two ones for this whole segment. And so we came out hot on Monday. It started off with this.
The Big Johnson. Or
The what? Sorry, what was that, Sean Brace?
So the Big Johnson was a popular T-shirt back in the 90s. You can get it at the Wildwood Boardwalk.
It was popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pitcher, Randy Johnson, the big unit, was where I was trying to go, and I said the Big Johnson.
the Big Johnson. Or
That's what you were looking for. You were looking for the Big Johnson?
Man. Oh, what an idiot.
We also had this gem to break up the pitcher names. The fingers are a little rusty.
Oh.
Which
Better do
was
something
about
about that.
piano. It's about piano.
Yeah, you could play piano.
Yes,
But
just
your
about
fingers
piano.
are what?
The fingers are a little rusty. They're a little rusty.
Get some WD there.
Yeah, I'm going to need it. The 40 variety. 80 if they've got. Nothing's going to beat this. Like, nothing at all. This was the moment of the first week of Brace and Dunne, and it belongs to Sean Brace.
The
Someone's gotta have it.
orifice pitch?
The orifice pitch. What did Dice K bring?
Orifice pitch?
The pitch came from...
That was show one.
That was show one.
Day one. Looked at Connor and said the orifice pitch, not the ephus, not the gyro ball.
Right.
But the orifice, which is, I believe, a hole. Is that what the definition was as you Googled it?
Yeah, it's like a bodily hole.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we'll just go with
it's
that.
definitely not a pitch, although I'd like to see a pitcher make it now, the orifice pitch.
I don't know if I want to see the orifice pitch.
But I do want to say that
I've seen it with a ping pong ball.
it was awesome seeing him get so uncomfortable with that one. It was it was great to see Connor go, all right, we're going to move on. The
I
orifice.
think Sean just missed what I...
Yeah, I heard it. We'll bring that one in for next week, too, as well.
Yeah, don't worry. All right, that's the last week report.
A lot of hits there.
A lot of hits. If you hear something throughout the week that you feel like should be on the last week report, we make mistakes. Sometimes we make so many mistakes, we miss them. Please feel free to DM us. Feel free to tweet at us. Feel free to text it in 610-632-0975. Make sure
How about that
you hear the worst every week at 1:30. The best of the worst. Our moments as a show that we would want back, but just never get them back. We also have the best of the YouTube chat with the YouTube chat recap coming up next. Phil's big series, question mark, he says, because this team's over 500. Does it count? They got 3 against the Cardinals. I'm headed there tonight. We'll talk about it coming up next. Brace and Dunne, 97.5 The Fanatic. Welcome back in. Brace and Dunne here on 97.5. The Fanatic. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunne. We got a weekend coming up of 3 games Phillies baseball.
That's right.
Going down tonight. You getting down to the ballpark, Connor Thomas?
I'm doing a bunch of moving, and I just got to – this is ridiculous. I got asked to play at a charity golf tournament tomorrow at 11 a.m. Today, like 5 minutes ago.
What course?
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
I don't even know. I texted back and asked what course.
Yeah, that's a big
I'm going to say yes because, like, yeah, free golf, yeah.
Right,
I'll
of
be
course.
there. But so now my whole weekend's messed up. Now I got to play golf. God forbid.
Let me know if you need another one.
I'll let you know.
So
no,
you're getting to the golf course.
I am. I'm definitely getting out there one way or another, either Saturday or Sunday. I am playing 18 this weekend.
Does the wife know yet?
Yeah, I told her. I told her like 2 weeks ago.
And it's been a good week with the wife. Straight's open. Peachtree's been signed. All is well.
Yeah, it was really good. And then I dropped the ball this morning. I don't know if you heard that one, but
I heard the morning show got a little bit of flavor of you dropping the ball.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to handle some business last night.
Oh,
and
really?
And I was waiting for the text or / call or like, hey, come on upstairs, say hello, that sort of deal.
So the you up text still applies when you're married?
That's correct.
At
least in my household. So I was laying low watching Fernando Mendoza. By the way, I'm buying the number 1 overall pick stock if anybody's selling it. And, of course, we had a second game, too, with the Niners and Chargers. So it's football season, boys. I'm paying attention. I'm breaking it down. I'm watching the film. Next thing you know, everybody's snoozing. Lights are out.
I couldn't even get it up.
Yeah. So I wake up this morning, and the wife was like, do I have to do all the work around here? I thought you were coming up. And I'm like, what? I was waiting for the call. I was waiting for the text. I didn't want to just all of a sudden poke my head in like, hey.
You didn't want to
poke the head in.
Aren't you married to this woman?
I am.
Yeah.
I think you have the right to poke your head in.
Trust me, Connor. Trust me.
In the door. Ray, don't look at me like that.
I'm just simply hosting a radio show. I don't know what you guys are saying.
That was a look.
That's all I did. Yeah, I misread the calculations on that one. I thought, again.
This guy chose Brock Purdy's preseason drive over.
Special teams were humming for the Niners, too, yesterday.
Yeah, you could have had some special times. You're too busy breaking down special teams over there. See if Fernando Mendoza.
This makes me respect his take about playing the starters tomorrow night more because I know he cares about it. Like what he's giving up to watch other teams, I know he cares.
There you go.
Sean Brace getting no action. Jalen Hurts getting no action. That's my thought process for this 72 hours. I apologize, Sean Brace. That's a tough one for you.
Yeah, I was curious if Tim was going to give us a little bit of like a slice of hope of you never know, but no, he put the cold water on that too as well.
That's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Real shame.
Wake me up on September 13th.
Me too. Wake me up when September begins. I'm reverse Green Day. That's what we established first week of this show. All the, preseason football. I'm going to watch. I'll be tuned in before I probably go to Keenan's tomorrow night.
Willie
Tacos and
Lanterns.
tequila. Wherever I end up this weekend down there in Wildwood.
All right.
Feels like a distant time, though. I got the game tonight. Luzardo on the mound. What do we think? 2 or 3 this weekend? They get revenge on the Cardinals?
Yeah, 2 or 3 at least. Maybe another sweep, maybe 9 straight. Who knows?
If they've won 9 straight by Monday, can we at least get a little bit of hype from you, Connor?
For me? Yeah, dude. I'm excited about how they're playing. I just don't think they're going to win the division.
Cardinals.
There's a difference there.
If they win 3 straight, though, the Cardinals be under 500.
So then it wouldn't count.
Then it doesn't count.
Yeah.
See, this is the
good point, Ray.
Yeah, this is the hell we live in. All right, what do we got for the YouTube chat recap?
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in? I can't block.
Text us at 610-632-0975. Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
Let me tell you something else, man.
It's the Brace and Dunne YouTube chat recap.
What we got?
Connor up there with LeBron and Stephen A. for worst hairline. If Bayless from the chat.
Damn.
Dude, our 1 o'clock hour is brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, and so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration Championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com, 610-831-HAIR. I don't think you got a bad hairline.
No.
That is disrespectful.
You have the hairline of a guy in his 30s.
Yeah.
Too far.
Yeah, that's...
Well, that's what they're saying about your hairline.
Connor up there with LeBron and Stephen A.
Damn it, I hit the same one again.
That's all right.
Unintentional.
Yep.
This wacky team will sweep the 6 games against the Braves and then lose 3 out of 4 to the Mets. Jimming from the chat.
Which I do go play 4 up there at Citi Field in September. One of them I might go to.
It's only 4 games against the Braves, right?
I think they have 6
Yeah, because then they got
left.
then they got them coming in
Real facts
at the end of the season too.
Jim? Yeah, they got. Of course,
That's the Brewers and Rays.
They
at
have
the
2
end.
series with the Braves.
Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Is it 6 or is it 7 games between the two of them? Because
I
they
just
have a
wanted to hear you say
4-game
it.
series here.
I think it's 7 games they still have.
All right, that sounds good. All right, I'll go look while we get to the next one.
Progress, Connor. Now, if you wash under your feet, we might be onto something. If Bayless from the chat.
Yeah, you don't wash your feet was the story that came out from the morning show, right?
The soap gets there. Is this the Connor recap or the YouTube chat recap?
Oh,
You go after these guys.
Come on, man. You gotta scrub them dogs, bro.
Well, no, the soap gets down there. Grab it.
Oh, you gotta scrub them dogs.
It becomes the producer chat recap really quickly in this. By the way, 7 against the Braves left.
Wow.
No. Nope. Yeah, 7. Yep, 7.
All
Because they
right.
go for a 3-game set down
4 plus 3.
in Atlanta. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. All right, what else we got?
Russ was incredible in a pre-Steph Curry NBA. Post-Steph, MBD from the chat.
Nah. Listen. Russ without KD, I never had any hope of Russ winning anything. But Russ was still fun to watch. Like if you turned your TV on to a Thunder game, even with KD not being there and Russ still being there, you stuck around to watch because of what he could do.
He was one of, in that time, the high flyers of the game. And when he threw it down with authority plus the frame. We understand what that is. So he was worth the price of admission and then some.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we won't talk about the rebounds that maybe shouldn't have been his, but very athletic player.
Oh. See, listen, you don't have to go too far to get me to go to some Russ hate. I'm not above that. When I say Russ, by the way, Wilson or Westbrook?
I think Wilson first.
Yeah. I think Russell Westbrook and Russ is Wilson. Yeah, Russ Wilson.
I put that poll up when Westbrook retired, and I believe Westbrook won it. Even though I probably go Wilson. And then, of course, there was the musical artist, Russ, that got about 5% of the vote. And then everyone's in my replies, don't forget Russ Joy. When I say Russ, I think Wilson. But I think for some people, maybe it is Joy.
A lot of Tims, a lot of Russes.
A lot of Russes.
Can we lure Mad Mike into a white van with some candy? Kev Cam from the chat.
No.
What are we, Terry and Arnold? Allegedly? Sheesh.
I just know this.
What a way to close out the first week.
Mad Mike needs to bring in some new material, or else he's going to be in the morning show feature, and that's about it.
I thought we gave up Mad Mike in the custody battle.
I was hoping we did.
I thought we did. What I'm upset about is we did a week of content. We didn't get Glorious Gary, and we didn't get Chaz.
Yeah, what up, Chaz?
The hell you guys are. Like, where are you at?
They started with us. Where are they?
Yeah. If I hear them on morning, so help me.
Damn right.
I'll lose my mind. Any more?
No, that's what we got.
That's it. That's all we got for week 1. Well, it was a good week, guys.
We made it.
I memean, I'm biased. I'm on the program. I enjoyed the first week of the program.
5-0.
Yeah, 5-0. Yeah, there's stuff to build on. Like the Eagles, 5-0. What was it? 4-0 start last year. Yeah, it was a good 4-0 start. There's stuff to review, tape to look at. I thought it was a solid week for us.
Yeah, it was.
What will you remember most from the first week of the program?
The orifice pitch.
The orifice?
Yeah, definitely the orifice.
Yeah, it's hard to get that orifice out of your mind.
Or Joey Merlino saying, "Hey, text me next week. We'll mess around."
Yeah, I think the Joey Merlino thing will probably be the thing that sticks with me most. Even though I forgot about it, now that I've been reminded of it.
You didn't remember it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know, but now that I've been reminded of it, it's what I'm going to take into the weekend.
No, I think I'm going to be wearing for a long time the Ray Dunne, I love that question versus great or good question.
Yeah, whatever.
That's going to be a fight for the rest of our lives.
Scoreboard 4-1, just to let you know as we roll into the weekend.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine because next week will be my week. I don't know who we have lined up next week.
Big week.
But we got a big week coming up.
Give me a list of people who don't like you.
List of people that don't like me. I don't know. Go check Twitter. You might be able to find some. All right. That's a week for us. Coming up next, it's the guys on Unfiltered. We got Billy C., Ricky Bo, Nick Earnshaw in with them today. We'll be back for the second week of Brace and Dunne, 10 a.m. on Monday, breaking down preseason football. Talk to you then.